Tommy reviews. I'm curious, has anyone read? Is it Yaira or Yara? Because I've been
Yaira.
It's Yaira.
Yaira.
No.
Number what?
Haven't read it.
I've not. I'm overseas.
No,
I have not read it, but I understand that she delivers death blow.
She sounds like Brigitte Nielsen in Rocky IV. You say?
The live action trailer was super cringe, but it was like a Neil Breen level kind of.
Yes, it was. Oh gosh. Oh, you just that was very succinct. Neil Breen is go watch some Red Letter Media, and find out about him. That's great.
I don't know. I've never read anything by the Saska sisters. So apparently they wrote a Black Widow. They wrote a Black Widow miniseries, and apparently they've made some real creepy movies. I've never. Mm-hmm. Have you read? You've made some really creepy movies, Sully, or are you written Black Widow?
Sully.
I mean, I know Jim's hanging out with Tommy Lee, so maybe maybe there's some movies there, but
and Nikki Sixx maybe.
Nikki Sixx sounds like a chick.
I didn't get any.
Sounds like no. Nikki Sixx is
nobody.
A musician. What are you talking about?
I know, but when you hear the name Nikki Sixx, you think it's going to be a chick, especially
Ricky Rocket's coming over.
It might seem oversimplified, but it's profound. I'd say shh. It's been a big thing for me. Shh. It's so funny how noisy my brain is, and everyone's brain is noisy. It's what it does. It makes thoughts. And the problem is, I think in most of our lives, the root of suffering is following that brain noise and listening to that brain noise and actually identifying with it as if it's who you are. That's just the noise your brain makes. And more often than not, it probably doesn't have much to say that's going to help you. The times that I felt my best are the moments that I've been able to pull that plug and say, Chris, shh, shh, shh. And it's not quitting, it's not giving up, it's not washing your hands of the thought, it's rising above it. It's operating on a separate plane. And when you just, shh, yeah, it just feels good. And you're like, that's better, that's better. And I think back to all the amount of time I've probably spent suffering as a result of brain noise.
Solution to our cultural and political problems through the political system, and that perhaps it's time to look to older systems, strongman, monarchy, even dictator.
The right is doing every single fucking thing they've been accusing the left of doing, which is really, they typically just mean like goddamn Democrats, for years. They're doing it all. They've been doing it all. They've been saying that the left wants to fucking take away democracy. They want to end fucking America as we know it, end freedoms. I have never seen the third most popular fucking left wing, even Democrat fucking aligned media outlet having a fucking sit down conversation about ending democracy. Man, Daily Wire is about the third most popular after like Newsmax and Fox News. These guys are essentially mainstream. They're talking about ending fucking democracy, man, to whatever limited, broken, fucking flawed, degree that we have it, right? Like, I'm not sitting here saying we got perfect democracy. We don't. We got some, and some's better than none, I'd say.
My friends, thank you for watching this video, and if you would be so kind, please subscribe if you like what you see. Help our channel to keep growing.
Shut the fuck up! Nobody asked you, you mother.
Oh, it's the Sunny and Dre. Oh my God.
Welcome to every video we make. We use one little thing and then we build the narrative out of it. other people besides white dudes like Star Wars. I'm just saying, we need to be conscious of our bias.
We talked about this one thing and we make a whole video out of it. That's what we do.
Jiggle for me.
Weird.
You are the real superhero.
Well, I'm built like a goddamn brick.
Is he some sort of masochist?
How do you do, fellow kids?
You did something very interesting with Star Wars. Think about it. The good guys are the rebels. They're using asymmetric warfare against a highly organized empire. I think we call those guys terrorists. Were you thinking of that at the time?
Force cannon sight!
And the same goes with Miles Morales. He is indeed, again, Miles Morales. He's also a Spider-Man.
I really dislike the fake geek thing and the poser nerd thing. That's not what we're about.
Like, I don't get offended by shit.
Every fucking conceivable opportunity so you can Oh yeah, well, guess what? Fucking
Bigot. The Fandom Initiative is a group of people on a mission to counter anti-woke sentiment on YouTube.
Right, you motherfuckers.
We are passionate fans of film, TV, comics, and video games. We'd love to make YouTube videos about the things we enjoy, but the culture of YouTube fandom makes this impossible, thanks to certain networks and clusters of content creators who depend on outrage, deception, and harassment to drive clicks and bring in revenue. The YouTube algorithm pushes harmful content to fans who are at risk of indoctrination by consuming repetitive right-wing rage bait videos.
Damn, dude. Yes.
Bingo! Some people would like to think that like you can be like 100% objective when watching something. Like remove your bias and just critique it like the truth.
Hey, what's Mola doing here?
You can't.
So like, what is fucking bringing all these guys together other than like, I'm mad at fucking Brie Larson?
What? If I can't be a misogynist to you, I don't know what to do with you.
I oftentimes get called a shill.
Fuck it, man. Don't be worried about that shit.
But here's the thing. My picture is not on the wall in the lobby of Marvel Studios.
Oh, mother.
Hello and welcome to the Shillcast. My name is Dane, actual fandom, but I'm not alone, never alone, for I carry with me in spirit and in my pocket, Turf Nation.
Oh wow!
But we follow.
Stepped up.
We're simply followers of the great Eric Debunks,
the Almighty.
Hey guys.
Hey. When did we start having music in these streams? It's awesome.
It's in the video, I think, right? It's in the video.
Yeah, it's in the video. I figured I'd try like
that was like background.
Kind of loud ass beeping outside my
I have background music on my streams, 100%.
Oh,
yeah, we definitely could.
I'm a refined individual, high class.
It certainly adds a certain level of, I don't know, vibe.
Yeah, send me your money, Mika. I will definitely make a new intro for you. Just send me $50. Okay.
Oh yes.
$50 super chat and it'll happen.
Yep. Whoops. Wrong thing. I'm not supposed to do that. Whoopsie doo. All right. Yeah. So apparently the question of where Amanda what's her name?
Stenberg.
Where she's from is relevant somehow. Apparently. I don't know. But you know who all the Danish people are, right, Turf?
I know all of them.
There's they all know each other.
There's like 14 of us. It's not very cool.
And you're all 14 years old.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, look at this, man. Like, there's like straight up her fucking, biographers are in chat right now. It's crazy.
Oh wow,
anyway.
she was half Danish. That's pretty cool.
You guys maybe noticed that I added a couple of news, like not even news, but like headlines for like some studies and some datas and stuff like that into the intro. I don't know if you saw that, but I did. I added some stuff, and that's relevant to what we're going to talk about today. A bit.
Nice.
Okay.
Let's see.
Do let us know.
Let you know what.
what we're going to be using it for.
So, like this one, you know?
Oh, yes.
And then well, there's another one coming up. Like that's an old one, oldie but a goodie right there. Old Caleb Kane. This is pretty recent. There's Caleb Kane again, but then there's actually a very new one, which would be this one. We're going to be looking at that, talking about the implications of such a thing.
I'm glad they did a study, but with my own personal like testing, I found that this is kind of we've already talked about this before about how you go incognito mode or you make a brand new account, the stuff just pops up at the top of the screen. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious to anybody that like pays attention and understands like to a degree like I mean, you have to kind of understand the talking points of the various spots on the ideological spectrum, I suppose, to understand what, you know what I mean? But like, yeah, it's pretty clear that that's the way it be. And you know, and that's why I named, like, at least on a couple of the streams, it's titled something about anti-fandom. Is just, it's inorganic, man. It just is. And we can see that by you know, the stuff going on with the boys, the Acolyte, just over and over again. They're just giving examples to tear apart and show why they are inorganic.
Yeah.
Anyway, oh, look at that guy. See, maybe I can see. I got out of the shower a little while ago. Hopefully my skin's not too red and splotchy still from being warm. And I'll look okay. We'll see. Okay.
You can always turn on that like touch up my appearance. Here
I had it on earlier and it's just like I don't know, I felt like a cartoon character or something.
Yeah, I've tried it once and I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do this.
It's a little weird.
Wait, is it a thing StreamYard has?
Yeah, you can go in and have it like you can adjust how much of your appearance you want to touch up.
Oh,
you can make yourself look like a straight up cartoon. It's pretty funny.
Yeah,
nice.
Here, I'll do it just for the people. So so this is at the lowest setting. I don't know if it's showing anything yet.
Yeah, I mean, automatically the lighting looks better. Yeah.
Gradually raise it up here, and then I'll just turn into like a fucking CGI person.
Damn.
Yeah.
Like I have no wrinkles.
You're shiny.
Anymore.
I know,
yeah.
it's like it took everything out, all the blemish,
so
everything's
smooth,
gone.
man.
Yeah. It reminds me of like
Nice.
when the on Facebook when my relatives do like the old lady pictures and they look like everything is a sheet of paper. It's pretty funny.
Like they're like, oh, we're getting away with it. Nobody notices a thing.
Yeah. It's like, is that you? Were you in that photo?
Well, so what have you guys been up to? You know, I know that I know you've got some new content always coming out, DJ. What do you got going on, Tur?
I don't really have much currently. I'm working on something for this whole Acolyte thing, but it's going a little bit slowly. But hopefully within the next week that'll be out.
Well, I don't know if you're aware, but you are in a new video that just went up a little while ago.
I was, yes. Yeah.
It's about them old boys, and you know, just several of the narratives was what we discussed yesterday. You know, kind of going around about that. But oh yeah, by the way, Organized Chaos not here this week. It's going to basically be damn that beeping. He's going to be off like every other week for the rest of the summer, I believe, is what he said. So next week he'll be here. Next week after that, nope. So
yeah, we're gonna miss him, but
are we? Just kidding.
Shut up, Bob.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I think DJ might have something to say.
Yeah, that was my most recent video, honestly. Like, I mean, it's part of the course. Melody Mac did it, so
I've got good news for you, Omega. Well, we at all. I've got great news. It's not, and also it doesn't mean anything. So, wake up, sunshine.
Yeah,
the world is
he's
beautiful.
kidding.
If you,
he's
okay,
joking. Yeah, he's being sarcastic.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Veltall. Yeah, that's it.
I see.
My
bad.
But yeah, Melanie Mac also is doing that now. She's making content about stuff she's not watching. It's not surprising, you know. I mean,
I think a lot of them have been doing it for a while.
Probably.
Yeah, I think they're probably just like now they're starting to just see kind of like, you know, they're inching their way into like, can I get away with saying this? Like, will my audience not reject me? Oh wow, it turns out they have no standards. Wow.
But
you know,
but I feel like because for a lot of, you know, I'd assume people like we already know Ryan Cannell has not watched the stuff he talks about for a long time, but
yeah,
I have a feeling that this is a new thing for Critical Drinker. Like I have a feeling that he used to want to watch the stuff that he want to critique, but he's just slowly beginning less and less of an actual critic and just leaning completely into the anti-woke aspect.
Do you think it's because he realizes he doesn't have to? You think that's what it is? Like he just doesn't have to do it.
Almost certainly. Like, yeah.
In the Critical Drinker Reddit, there were people criticizing that video. Surprisingly,
it's just not
people
enough.
in the Critical Drinker, and they said it was one of his weakest videos to date. They thought it was very loosely put together, wasn't a lot of work put into it. And the problem is when you are someone like Critical Drinker and Nerdrotic, you can't afford to let that guard down even a little bit. Like I feel like he feels comfortable, and of course it's not gonna affect his channel greatly, but continued content like that I think would negatively affect his channel. I think there would be people that would get tired of it. But Melanie Mac, I kind of expect it. Critical Drinker, as much as I disagree with him, I felt like he at least watched the stuff he was talking about. So when I saw that video, I was like, holy shit, he's not even watching it.
Yeah, like I don't know about you guys, but I had this feeling that like at least he thought that he was an actually good critic, and that he was being honest and all this stuff. Whereas someone like Melanie Mac just doesn't care. But like at least Critical Drinker thought or believed somewhere that I am a good critic.
Well, didn't that give him sort of legitimacy? Like if you think about it, what set him apart from a lot of the other channels?
Yeah, exactly.
People in the comments were like, "Oh, well, he actually understands movies. He's a filmmaker. He's a writer."
It made his video somewhat watchable.
Yeah. So that was a little interesting, but it's setting a bad standard. And what I said in my video was, I think everybody, regardless if you're a fan of his or not, should demand that the people who are criticizing a certain thing actually know what they're talking about before they start talking about it. Because if I did a video criticizing anything at all, including one of their videos, if I did a critical video about one of them and I was not watching their content, that's the first thing that I would get called out on. Do you even watch their content? Did you watch the whole video? Would you take it out of context? Apparently you can just do a whole video review of a show you're not even watching.
Yeah. Well, okay. So a couple of pretty solid chat entries here. First, keep getting this one. I've seen the first couple of minutes of it, and just based on that, I feel like it's a pretty good video. And I've heard
it's solid, yeah.
They may have like a not necessarily the best take themselves or anything, like I might not agree, I don't know, about Acolyte, but overall their take is that the discourse is also stupid. And the discourse being kind of co-opted and driven by these grifters. And then so this is a bit more complicated answer, man. I feel like if you watch enough of our videos, just any one of us, you could kind of figure that out. But I mean,
I used to ask this question a lot when I first started making my content as well. Like I didn't truly get it. But yeah, we've talked about it a lot.
If you want to watch, there's a video on each one of our channels. I think maybe DJ, you didn't have one on yours but like it's called different things on mine and Organized Chaos and Turf Nations, but it's our mission statement as the initiative, and like we all wrote it. We all kind of like just what is our pitch to people that we're trying to get people to pay attention to, and it's all there. So
I think it's probably easy to find on the SHILL CLIPS channel. It's on that channel too, but I think it's relatively easy to find on that one.
Speaking of, we have a new entry. We have a new member of the initiative. Call him up here. He goes by the name of Shilly. Apparently. We got Shilly. There he is. He's up there in the corner as well. He was already here. I don't know, man. It's just I saw this fucking happy bucket of popcorn. I was like, he should be flipping people off.
Yeah, that's
like
great.
Defiantly, like I'm gonna enjoy these movies despite these fucking chuds, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, whoops.
So to finish season 2 of what? Of Boys?
I don't know. I didn't mean to hit that.
Yes. Oh.
RLM's they're starting to take their very calculated swings that they're taking. You know what I mean? Because I have to guess that there's a substantial, who knows how many bit of their audience that's kind of like also watches like Critical Drinker.
We talked about this a little bit before we went live, where I mentioned I feel like the tide is sort of shifting now. Like we had the Chudpocalypse, the decline is still happening, and now we're seeing media shift a little bit towards like calling out the bad takes. The problem is, and this has been my issue with this from the beginning, is you cannot have legitimate conversations about the quality of something when absurdity is present in that conversation. And that's the issue, is people like people like Eric July, all these channels that look at absurdity and use that as actual criticism of something. It destroys that dialogue. So,
yep. You know, I mean, we got a couple of things coming up here, because guys, we have not been talked about it a little bit. We might as well get into it. I don't know. I got all the videos ready to go. We could just fucking do it right now live if you wanted to. But like, can I just go ahead and say that like we made a bigger dent in anti-fandom than I think anybody is aware of, and I don't even think we really realized it for a long time. But like, basically the only person I've seen using bounding into comics anymore is Melanie Mack.
Yeah.
And that's not a good sign.
Yeah, right. Like, she's the one that's still holding out. You know, you guys remember that everybody was using bounding into comics.
Yeah.
For, you know, like, oh, they're going to talk about a topic. They're going to bring up a bounding into comics fucking article that's going to talk about how trans people are demons or whatever the fuck.
Fucking Michael Burbage.
Yeah, fucking Burbage.
And like, if I was bounding into comics, you wouldn't want Melanie Mack being your final warrior, your final stand. Doesn't scream confidence.
But I'm putting together a timeline, you know, and so I'll make it more readily apparent pretty soon in a video. But like, we called them out like shit last year. I guess it was like March or something like that we made our video where we were like, you know, they need to just they need to like put a disclaimer at the top of their website that's basically like, you know, all the best news and reviews and opinions in fandom from an authoritarian Christian perspective. Just stop hiding it. You know what I mean? That was our main thing, is you guys are like pretending to be one thing when you're really not leading from that point.
Mm-hmm.
And then they responded to it. They got all upset about it. A few people got upset about it. John F. Trent and John De La Rose and stuff. And then, like, you know, the year progresses on. We made another couple of shots at them. I think I made a video talking about them. They wrote an article about me, which, you know, honored. I'm really glad that I got to make that happen. But then something happened where they seem to have sold to some new company that, you know, by all intents and purposes, I mean, for like, it really does seem like that us calling them out and calling attention to the fact that they were just like going fucking way mask off, like it was increasing. It went from like within less than a year, they went from just kind of being a chud website to being a open theocratic fascist fucking website. And just really disgusting content. And now they're not like that anymore. And they're also not being used. John F. Trent doesn't work there, seems like, anymore. John De La Rose doesn't either. They got their own little fucking things going on that, you know.
Well, Fandom Pulse isn't a thing anymore. The website, they couldn't afford the website. That's the news on the street. So if you go and look at their website, the last update up to the website was like a month ago, maybe a little bit longer than a month ago. So they had to change locations to more of a blog, like a blog post site or whatever. So the last updated article on Fandom Pulse was like, I think May something.
Oh, so they're doing Substack now, it looks like.
Yeah. They couldn't afford the hosting for the website, apparently, so they moved to
Substack.
Substack.
Man. That can't have been that much, right? Like,
yeah.
Maybe JDA is just spending too much on his legal bills and stuff right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to get more of the information on it, but I found out the other day, I looked at it and I was like, they haven't updated in over a month. And then I followed the rabbit hole, and apparently they weren't making enough ad revenue because of advertisers not using their site. And so they moved to, I guess, Substack so they could get subscriptions and stuff like that, which is why a lot of the video people are not using Fandom Pulse anymore.
So they're probably mostly just using that other one, right?
Park Place.
Yeah.
Which is John F. Trent. Yeah.
Once Trump wins, the Fandom Minutes will get another boost. Hey man, sounds like you got a lot of high hopes for that. So good, cool, man. Good.
It's funny that you make that connection, though. It's funny that's the connection you make, that you're admitting that entire group is based on political ideology. It's funny
and that's another win that I think that we can take is that but before our mission statement went out there, and it's been seen quite a few times. Add up the totals on all our channels, quite a bit. It seems like about then was whenever they just stopped like trying to pretend that they used to say that it's not about politics. They want things to be apolitical and blah blah blah. Everybody generally, if you knew what you're looking at, know that was bullshit. But still, they used to say it. They don't say it anymore. They have Vivek Ramaswamy on there, and they just talk about shit openly. I think that we
I mean, Geeks and Gamers, Jeremy has a whole entire channel now dedicated to politics. So
yeah, he's had that for a while now, but he used to not use it as much. Like he's almost completely abandoned his main channel.
Lost his thumbnail person, so he has to make money somewhere. Basically he's been copying the same thumbnail for the last month now of him, like with his face palming or whatever, because he doesn't have a thumbnail guy anymore. So
I mean, from what I understand, he just lies in it, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't really.
I can summarize it for you. He spends the first 2 minutes talking about how he doesn't watch The Boys anymore. And he hasn't watched since season 3, so he hasn't been watching for at least an entire season. Which it's kind of vague. He says he dropped out or tapped out on The Boys season 3, but I don't know if that means like at the beginning, in the middle. I don't totally understand. But within 2 minutes, he's like, "This is why I'm not watching." And the rest of the video, he talks about how it sucks because of other people saying it sucks.
Yeah,
that's pretty much what the rest of the video is. So,
and I like in your video about it, you really go hard on the fact that he's a critic and he's seen as a respected critic. And this is just incredibly embarrassing for someone who is a critic.
It should be,
yeah.
It should be, but it's not, because it's out there. These are the same people that Chris Stuckman says basically, look, I don't want to fucking spend a bunch of time and negative energy talking about garbage movies anymore. And by doing so, he's saying that this movie that they all want to talk about is essentially garbage. But he's just not going to spend a lot of time shitting on it. And they act like that is just an affront to film criticism. They're making content so like, oh my god, he's ruining.
I mean, the fact that he says that he doesn't want to talk about bad movies anymore and then doesn't talk about it. I mean, that kind of tells you what he thinks about it, right? Yeah, I mean,
but then Critical Drinker just doesn't even fucking watch the shitty reviews. Like I remember YMS Adam got shit on pretty hard for that, and rightfully so. A while back, he said he didn't finish watching a movie or something like that, and that sometimes he doesn't if the movie's really not good or whatever.
Right.
And like then I think his audience kind of got pissed off at him about that. But these people have no standards. They don't care.
I mean, it's becoming more and more obvious. Like the extreme stuff that's happening now is just a continued, like, predictable pattern that we talked about. Like they have to get more and more extreme, more and more absurd, because the hit doesn't hit as hard when you do it over and over and over again. You have to keep doing it. And yeah.
It was also fun when he was looking at the Rotten Tomato score, and then he looked at the critic one, and he just waved off the critics and said,
"Critics are shills." And I'm like, "Aren't you a fucking critic?"
Yeah, exactly.
I'll answer for you, yes, dude. Of course, it fucking makes her terrible, makes her a piece of shit, no matter what, whether she believes in it or fully or whatever. Like, what kind of question is this?
Let me ask you a question. Yeah, exactly. If some of her fans listen to her, and then I come over and they start attacking me because I'm gay, does it really fucking matter if she truly believes in God or not? Does it really fucking matter to the material damage it's done? No, it doesn't matter. So
there are people who believe in God who aren't homophobic, Like, those things aren't naturally
why does that give people a pass, Turf, though? Why do you think people think that gives people a pass? I mean, it's such a weird thing.
I think a lot of people give a lot of leeway to religion. No, it's like, okay, they're religious, you can't go as hard on that. But it's like, no, if someone is using their religion to be hateful, you absolutely need to call that shit out.
Yeah,
that comes off to me like oh, go easy on him, he's got like a learning disability or something like that. That's kind of like that
exactly.
Kind of, like, oh, he's a little touched. No, man. If you
Like there are plenty of people who are religious who use it to better their own lives. You know, they find meaning in it, and they don't push it on other people. They aren't hateful about it. They reject the negative things about the religion. That's perfectly fine. You know, you also need to call it out when it gets hateful.
Okay, man. Well then, so you don't mind that my opinion is I don't want you in our chat anymore, and you'll have no complaint about it, right? You'll just leave or what? Because no one very, you know, sure you can find some extreme example, but one person saying their opinion does not harm anybody. Not really, not usually, but there are contexts when it can be harmful. Now you may not value the metric of harm that's being applied, and that's really what the problem is that you think that if someone is misgendering a trans person to their face or something and dead naming them and shit like that, you're like, I don't fuck, it doesn't matter to me. Doesn't, but okay, but you don't value that, so like your value system is fucking, not including.
Well, let's lay the hammer down on this idiot. It's not her opinion. Yeah. She believes it's God's word, so it's not her opinion. She thinks it's fact. She thinks it's true, so it's not an opinion. She's citing it as God's word. So stop using the opinion defense. That's not what.
And if her opinion is that figs or whatever fucking slur she wants to use are bad and the devil or whatever the fuck, then that absolutely contributes to an environment of people being hostile and even violent towards gay people, trans people. And so I mean, maybe not immediately, but like there is a fucking connection to these things.
Yeah. Especially when she has a big platform.
So you're like, oh, maybe she does believe in God, but it's also her opinion. Those things don't exist together. That's impossible. Yeah. She's reciting the word of God. Is God's word an opinion? Give me a break. That's what she's using as the weapon.
And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if she's using religion or if it's just her own opinion. Either way, it's hateful.
Can I ask what is Katie? You've said you've used the terms identity politics and now gender ideology, and I don't really know what those mean. Can you I don't think those are real things, to be honest. I think those are kind of like bullshit.
I think what we're talking about here is the difference between aggressive and passive bigotry, basically. Like for me, you have the aggressive bigoted stuff where people go out and actually talk shit and go after people. And then you have the ones where they're like, they have bigoted feelings, but they don't do anything with them. And I think a lot of people are like, oh, well, it doesn't hurt anybody else. And you're right, it doesn't. But the problem is that is the gateway into the aggressive stuff. So you have to just be aware of that, be mindful of that.
Yeah.
True, Hayes.
Yeah. Because there's the thing with someone having an opinion that they don't act on and they don't, go and do hateful stuff about it, but it still is a bigoted opinion they have. It's not something that immediately has an effect. It's not something, it won't have an effect if they don't act on it. But it's still not, a good thing, and it's not something we should be encouraging. It's like, oh yeah, well, bigotry is fine if it's just people's opinions. Like, no, let's try to get to a point where people don't have the opinion.
It's funny when you say it out loud like that. It's just hilarious.
We're getting a lot of enlightened centrism going on in chat right now.
I know, it's really interesting. It's not in my chat. It's somebody else's. I guess it's yours, Dane, or maybe Bob's.
I wonder what it is.
Bob tends to get the most spicy ones usually. So
is it the title? Is it the fact that they know we're talking about this study and they're probably is somebody trying to do damage control? What the fuck's going on, man? It's kind of interesting to see that happen like this, because it's not, normally if we get a kind of influx of people that are attracted to whatever we're talking about, it's like I don't know, there's a little bit more diversity, but there's some serious hard going at the center right now.
I don't mind people that don't necessarily have an opinion of either way. I mean, I don't truly understand it. I feel like I have an opinion on most things, but there's some things that you can't just be both sidey on. You know what I mean? It just doesn't work. And
I mean, Kay used gender ideology. That's not a thing that I think generally people that, us, I don't think we ever think about it. We don't have a gender ideology. That's not something that we subscribe to. I don't believe. I don't.
Bob of the Always figured it out. It's in Dane's chat. So
the one time that I don't put any kind of restriction on my chat, of course. Yeah, I mean, famously, Rush said, "If you decide not to choose, you still have made a choice."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also a lot of the time when people do the whole, I'm just on both sides are bad. oftentimes both sides are not equally bad. You know, if I don't know, sometimes there can be, you know, a feminist who wants men to die, you know, like there can be,
you're gonna be like,
extreme.
that's bad, right? That's bad. Like that
Yeah.
we don't want that, right?
Like obviously that's bad, but that doesn't happen nearly as much as the opposite side, you know, as just misogynistic hate, you know.
Well, also there's no way to implement that. That's the thing that people don't understand. If a woman feels that way about men, which we don't condone that shit, obviously.
Yeah.
But there's no system in place to restrict men the way a conservative Christian would want to restrict like gay people. That system does exist. There is a way to make that happen. So it's not the same conversation. You know what I mean? Like they're both bad things, but one of them can actually happen.
Exactly. And just not accepting that is just negligent for anyone to do. It doesn't make someone, oh, look at me, I'm smart, you know, I'm taking the middle road, you know, I'm better than both of them. No, you're just ignoring actual fucking problems and then highlighting small things that don't happen very often that are still bad, but they don't have a significant effect.
Right. That's exactly what this one of the shorts that I played before the stream, the thing about the Daily Wire. This is exactly what this is addressing. The fact that the Daily Wire, which is the third most popular conservative media outlet, is having just like very adult and very like, you know, just classy fucking, you know, definitely not pretentious, sitting down drinking cognac or whatever the fuck and sucking on cigars, talking about the merits of ending democracy, the American experiment. Right? Like maybe we need to revert to some older system like monarchy or dictatorship. This is what Ben Shapiro and Jeremy Boring, they're having this conversation, right? And they're taking it seriously. I haven't seen anybody on the left talking about that, man. Not anybody has any kind of like cultural, social power, or and definitely not political power.
I don't know anybody on the left that wants to control people. That's the thing. Like I don't hear people on the left saying that they want to take things away from people and control people. That I don't. If there is something like that, I'd love to read it or see it just to get an idea of what that would be. But I don't see that out there.
I guess someone who is on the right could view that as being, you know, what they see as cancel culture.
Right.
You know, it's like, oh, the left is trying to control how we speak. You know, what are we allowed to say? You know, wokeness is taking away our freedom in that point. But like,
I love that argument. It's just such a false argument, but yeah.
Exactly. Like Dane points out, there aren't big personalities in like on the left side of the political spectrum who are sitting here talking about, oh yeah, we need to restrict people, you know, we need to control them, we need to end democracy, we need to do all this shit. Like it's just not happening at the same degree.
I have a question. Actually, I have a meme for Kay in chat. I just want to see what she thinks about it. Let me pull it up real quick. But like
that's a great comment, just saying I respectfully disagree. Like with what?
What is that? Oh,
we've been saying a lot of things.
I don't. Yeah, it doesn't matter to me.
I think somebody was arguing with her about the idea that like you have to have a neutrality, and that all basically she seems to be saying that no matter what the two positions are, that there needs to be a center that is just as equal, like, or basically, you know what I mean, or the center is an equal balance, and that we, you know, just this kind of thought that I don't understand how you can think that way anymore. I mean, I used to think that way, but like life happened.
Well, here's the deal: in order for everything to be balanced, you have to exist. Yeah. And the problem is, people don't want to get rid of that power. There was an experiment that exists. You know, no, I was going to say, like, I remember on TV, I think it might have been Sally Jesse Raphael or one of these shows. It's a clip out there. I wish I had it on me right now to show it, and maybe you guys remember it. But they were doing this experiment, like separating people by hair color, eye color, whatever. And then they asked them about racism. And, you know, asking white people, would you want to be a black person? This was in like the 80s. And no one wanted to be a black person. And when they asked them why, they didn't want to say what the reason was, because they knew that there's a difference in the way black people are treated versus white people. So once you look at it at just the basic fundamentals of like what we're talking about, there is a difference, and it might be in your subconscious, but it does exist. Yeah, something along these lines. Yeah, this is a good. Yeah, exactly.
Is that UK in the middle with the sign that says compromise? Is that what you would be doing in this situation?
I have this argument all the time. Like, how am I supposed to compromise with people that do not want me to exist?
Yeah.
Explain in the chat if you're somebody that feels this way. I really want to see this, and if you can type it out. As a gay person, how do I compromise with somebody that says gay people are all dangerous and they shouldn't exist? I would love to hear how I would tackle that in a neutral way. Please feel free to type that out for me.
It's simply not. It's just not a situation that anyone can be neutral in, because if you decide to be neutral in a topic like this, you know which side you're on, and you're not on the side of the people just wanting to exist and be themselves. If you're ignoring a discussion about one side wants to just be able to exist and live their lives, and the other position wants them to die, if you're neutral in that, that's pretty fucking telling. That just means that you're okay with the other side that wants to kill the other side.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's part of the reason why I haven't even followed through with the discussion with Hypnotic. Think about how they view gay people. I don't even know how to address that anymore. After I went back and watched the stream back, I don't know how to address that. You know what I mean? I don't even know how to have a conversation. What's the starting point of that? Do you believe I should exist? Great, let's have that conversation. They consider it like arguing with an animal at that point.
Yeah.
So,
and that's why it's annoying when there are, these so-called centrists who will say, "Oh, well, you're being too aggressive. Let's just sit down and have a conversation." That's just not. You don't do that with someone who wants you to not exist.
Right. And I've been in plenty of chats with people that don't agree with me. I do it all the time.
What? Excuse me. Nobody is denying existence. Nobody. What does that mean? You just said earlier that, I mean, I'm not sure what you mean, but it seemed like when someone says I don't agree with or I don't believe in gender ideology, typically that's a transphobic person saying that they don't believe that trans people are valid. So if that is what you were saying, you are saying that you deny the existence of trans people.
Well, look at the statement in this comment. Transgenderism shouldn't be pushed on children. You are literally talking about denying access to information about transgender people in the fear that a child will end up being transgender and therefore erasing transgender people. You do understand how that works.
And also,
nobody ever wants to talk to you, dude. Nobody will ever want to fucking talk to you. Please go away.
But it's also for someone who's saying I fought for gay rights, and then
potato, get the fuck out of here, transphobe.
It's because the same things have been said about gay people for forever, that, oh, don't push this on kids, being like, oh, I fought for gay rights, and then now being transphobic. It's just you can't use that to protect yourself, because now you're being hateful, you're being bigoted.
If you resort immediately to pushing it on children, do you know of that ever happening?
Yeah, I'd love to see a study on that.
Repeated on social media, and it fucking makes you uncomfortable, so you fucking
Every video I've ever done where I ask people to provide me some sort of study that helps me understand what they're talking about, there's never anything. It's always just transgender people existing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So
for people who make it their whole livelihood to talk about this stuff, they don't really know much about it, and they have no fucking examples.
It's weird to be some of the only people on YouTube that aren't transphobic.
Yeah.
But TG, you were saying something before about being on.
Yeah. I mean, I go into other podcasts and talk to people every single week. I really hate this narrative. I see people in my comments doing it too. Oh, you live in an echo chamber. You don't want to hear anybody else's opinions. I go into other streams every single week and talk to people who do not agree with me. This is no lie. Every single week I am in a stream somewhere where I'm talking to people that don't feel like I feel. And we have conversations where we're not screaming at each other. We're not yelling at each other. No one's calling each other names. We are literally debating about topics that we don't see eye to eye on. Matter of fact, on my channel, I do podcasts with Low Watermark, who is a conservative man. He's an older guy.
I've been looking forward to talking to him, actually.
Yeah. He's very rational about stuff. He really truly wants to get to like, I don't have any issues with that at all. He truly wants to get to the root of some of the stuff. And I've really become sort of open-minded to sort of understanding and hearing points of view that are outside of my space, but it's done in a way from somebody that I don't think is bigoted. I don't believe that Low Watermark feels the way that a lot of the people that come into our chat feel. Like he seems like a really good guy to me. And so I've had nothing but praise to say about Low Watermark. And that is someone who does not agree with the stuff that I agree with. So this idea that we live in an echo chamber and everybody is an ist and everybody is a phobe, that's just not true.
Yeah,
true.
It is kind of frightening sometimes how, especially being on the internet, has just taken away the idea that like there can even exist like a conservative who is not just insane, you know, and extremely hateful, because there's many people in the world who are conservative who are nice, you know.
Yeah.
Like but it's just on the internet, you know. This war, this conflict that comes, it makes us forget that sometimes. But then, especially when people come into our chats, you know, there are these people who are just extremely hateful. It's.
And we just said earlier, like if there was like a feminist belief that they wanted to just unalive men, none of us would be like, well, that's cool. We agree with that. Like,
no,
we wouldn't agree with that. You know what I mean?
No,
like
the next video I have going up, it's actually up on Patreon right now for supporters over there. But like the next video I have going up is me just like I burned through that fucking list of all my greatest sins. Apparently, I don't know if you saw that, DJ. Somebody made a list of all the terrible things I've done.
No, I didn't see that
on YouTube. And I mean, maybe we can check it out later or something. But
all
like,
right.
Yeah, I just kind of went through it, just answered for each one of them, and like 99% of it was not even anything remotely close to something I would consider a bad thing, because none of it is harmful. It's stuff that you don't like that I said it or that I did it, or maybe you think that that's not fair or something like that. But like, none of it has harmed a single person. You know what I mean? And that's where I think generally all of us kind of approach from that. You know, if there's harm happening, it needs to not be happening. If it's possible to reduce harm and suffering for people, why the fuck wouldn't you? You know, and that's generally the way I see politics. It's like, it's not an ideology that I am on the left. It's that over on the left, I see people trying to reduce harm and suffering, and over on the right, I see people trying to fucking inflict it. Pretty simple. And
I want to say, I do think that there is a way to get to a more center nuanced space with people individually, but I don't think that's possible at a large scale. Like, I don't think we can do, like, I don't think the right or the left could change the right from the outside. If the right is going to change, it has to change from people on that side actively making that change within themselves. Same thing with us.
This brings up a good question. How did the right get this way so fast? Segue. Well, I know one avenue, and we're going to look at that a bit. Oh god damn it. I'm guessing that's just fucking what's his nuts again. He's decided he's, I guess I don't know, he's off the wagon or something. I don't know. Back with them rapey vibes, going where he's not wanted. By the way, I wanted to promote Bob of the Old Ways channel. Look, he's got 981 subs. Let's see if he's still got that. 981. We got 118 people right now. Surely we can get this dude over 1,000 right now. Surely.
Come on.
He is linked in the description, and I will drop his link one more time here in the chat. Just like, right click over that motherfucker, hit that sub button. He's he's making Lord of the Rings Rings of Power content. And if you're someone who enjoyed Rings of Power, or even just thinks that it got a lot of really bad faith, dishonest fucking coverage, through season 1, this is the guy you want to check out. He knows his stuff, and he's braving the shitstorm of YouTube and Rings of Power content.
It's great stuff. If we can't get him to 1,000 subs right now,
I've lost all faith.
That'll be embarrassing. we will end.
That's why we're not going to check on stream.
Yeah, we're just gonna pretend.
And then also, all of our links are in the description. By the way, whatever channel you're watching, all the other links are down there. Should be, and including the Shill Clips channel, which is where clips go and stuff. Sorry, go ahead. Oh, somebody's talking.
Not me.
Not me.
All right, so let's check out this a little bit of this study, and then after we look at this for a minute, I think I have some stuff anyway. I don't know about Turf.
Oh, wait, hold on. Look at this. Katie did here says, I have a clip of Eric mentioning my clip on her channel. I guess her latest one.
Which clip?
I have no idea. Probably that one that Ripaverse Goalposts uploaded a clip of me, and I'm pretty sure that's the one that Eric is reacting to, because that channel is not affiliated with the Ripaverse, but somehow it's
not affiliated.
So yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, this is interesting. Thank you, Katie did for doing that. Yeah, she's confirming that is in fact which one it is. So
is that in a new video of his or what? Oh, in your latest clip is where that is.
No, Katie did's latest one. It says it's my latest one. So wild. So the clip in question, I don't want to hijack what you were getting ready to do, Dane, but the clip in question is the one where I basically call out Eric July on fighting by proxy, like echoing other people who are fighting while saying he's moving differently. And that's what he's doing 100%. So I'm curious to what he had to say about me. That's pretty funny. Byron, that's from O'Keefe Media. So look them up and then we can talk. O'Keefe Media has a lot of ties to lawsuits being held against them for not being reputable. So there's a reason why most people are probably not taking that clip seriously.
You know what? That is something we probably is right up our alley that we might want to talk about.
We could do a deep dive into it 100%. Yeah.
It kind of seems like it's a setup for Stephen Miller's legal grift that he's got going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, they do hire white people though.
Just look up O'Keefe Media lawsuits. There's tons of them. So look up James O'Keefe and how just awesome and good faith he is for sure.
Oh yeah. And then also listen to the fucking video and ask yourself if you've ever heard a dude complain about his fucking executive job so much just to get his dick wet. I don't think I have. It's pretty gross.
That is gross.
Anyways, so let's check this shit out. A study came out, and look, it's just one of the latest ones. They've done many of these by now. I don't know, what it's going to take to kind of break through. I'm not sure how much people see these things whenever they come out. If they acknowledge them, if they absorb the information that's in them. But like, look, guys, you have to. If you don't realize now that YouTube is, it's catered to right-wing content and not like necessarily on purpose, maybe. But it does
like right-wing extremist content is
extremist
what
content.
It really, yeah.
And the thing that was really concerning about this new study is that it's not just proving that, because that's been proven before. It also adds that it will suggest that content even if you haven't watched anything like that. Which, as we've proven anecdotally with just if you do an incognito YouTube search, anybody can test this. Go to incognito, go to YouTube, search for just anything neutral topic. X-Men 97. Acolyte be a good one to look at and just see what you get. It's pretty clear. And part of that I think is because of the content being as hollow as it is. I mean, you're talking about Critical Drinker, the biggest movie, media YouTuber or whatever, and he's not even watching shit that he talks about now. People don't care. So like, it's very hollow fucking, nothing content, and you can crank that shit out all day and all night. If you're actually watching the media, then you need time to watch the media and to analyze it, to write up a review or whatever. And, they have a big advantage against anybody that's making honest content in that way. It's crazy. Find these links now. Turf, did you get to check out any of these here things?
Yes, I briefly looked over it.
And I know that hey, we're friends with Pillar of Garbage, by the way. Yeah, we're pretty cool. He's got a couple of videos up on you know, about at least partially about this web of grifter media and how it's all kind of like, you know, obviously superficially connected, like they're all kind of connecting with each other and stuff like that, but it actually seems to go deeper than that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's them connecting with each other as much as they do, and overlapping and going on each other's shows as much as they do. That's actually a function of this, you know, kind of web of media. And like they the more they do that, like for example, that's how the skeptic anti-SJW you know, kind of content sphere popped up years ago. Was they just started going, you know, the intellectual dark web was one of the things that came out of that. Going on each other's shows all the time. Joe Rogan was kind of at the center of it and stuff, and look where he's at now. Yeah. So.
Well, Daniel, that's kind of why my thumbnails are the way they are, because YouTube promotes that kind of thumbnail. You can't, I don't want to say you can't. It's very difficult to jump into YouTube's algorithm trying to do something that's different from what works, because YouTube doesn't know what to do with it. So I found a lot of success in my videos just by copying that thumbnail style, even though the content of my video is obviously very different.
You start off YouTube with a lot of pure intentions, and then one, you know, little by little stuff like that. Like, look, I'm not going to do anything that I actually believe is going to be harmful to anybody. And it actually, the only reason I would make I remember wrestling over the choice of like, should I do a clickbaity kind of headline that uses like really hyperbolic words and stuff, you know? And like, I fucking wrestled over that shit for a while, and then finally now I'm just like, whatever, if I can use hyperbolic words.
I was tired. I got tired of like people saying, oh, you know, if you want to fight, if you want to be like them, just copy what they're doing. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll copy what they're doing. And now we're just like them. Now apparently we're
exactly the same.
We're exactly like them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's basically that you have to kind of or you don't have to, but if you want a better shot, you need to, you know, use some of the tactics, like capitalize the entire word whenever it's a word like, you know, destroys, or, you know, use a word like destroys, which I probably wouldn't do in my own titles, but I use it now.
Panic, outrage, unhinged,
that's
meltdown.
The kind of shit that we do, because you know, it helps. Algorithm wants it.
Yeah,
feeds on
it. Just in general, it's a good idea for YouTube to just look like study thumbnails.
Holy shit.
Oh.
I need to get back with him, because we had talked about him coming on the show at one point, and then
he took a break. He took like a mental health break for like a month or something.
Smart guy.
Good for him. Like, for real. Sometimes I feel like I'm dissolving inside. Everything's melting away.
You need a break.
Yeah. Actually, I'm doing a new series of videos called, it's going to be about grifter channels that I think are irrelevant now, and we can stop watching them. There's a couple of them that I think are very clearly just TMZ at this point, and they're not really contributing to any of the culture stuff, or they're sort of circling the drain, basically. They're doing enough to hang around, but they're not making much of a dent in anything.
Yeah,
can you tell us one of them, or you want to
like Josiah Rises? Josiah Rises is one that you're just keeping it. And I actually think Ryan Cannell's becoming irrelevant.
He's getting there,
yeah.
I think that those are just examples of like channels that I feel their repetitiveness is becoming a problem for them, and I think they either need to change the way they're doing stuff, or they're not gonna see any change in their viewership numbers or anything like that. Because Josiah every once in a while will get a hit, but for the most part he just puts out 5 or 6 videos a day about whatever, you know, TMZ is talking about, or whatever bullshit's coming up on the, you know, drama alert or something. So I'm going to do videos and explain, you know, why I'm not watching these channels, why I'm not keeping an eye on these channels, and why I'm not reacting to these channels, and, you know, move on from them. Because I do believe their relevancy in the bigger picture is fading. Because I think there's a bigger gap between like Critical Drinker and Nerdrotic and all of these other channels, and the gap is just doing this. And I think the bigger that those guys get, the more relevant the other channels will become. So that's kind of what I'm seeing.
But you still get comments or people asking you to cover Some of these more relevant ones. Yeah.
There's a couple of them that I'm not going to mention here that I've had my eye on. I subscribed to them to see like how their channels were going to do, the kind of content they're making. And I'm going to tell you right now, guys, and this is coming from somebody who, if you want to know what's going on in like the grifty space day to day, just ask me, because I keep an eye on this shit. Like, I subscribe to so many channels that people have suggested. They're not growing. These channels are not growing. And I don't mean like a little bit. I mean at all. They've got like 3,000 subscribers. Their video views are like less than 100. Nobody's clicking on their content because they're that idea of what the Fellowship does, what FNT does, what Geeks and Gamers does, works when you have a small enough pool of people doing it. But the larger that pool gets, the more people that are talking about the same thing, you start to like sort of, I don't know, what word am I looking for? It gets so spread out that you only have to really listen to one person. And who are you going to listen to? Are you going to listen to somebody like Critical Drinker and Nerdrotic, or, you know, hateful insert animal name 548689? You're not going to do that. So those people don't get any views. They're leeching off of the leeches. So it's very obvious that a lot of these channels are not growing. So I'm going to make that a new video series for all of the channels that people have suggested, like, you know, should you watch this?
Actually, Woke up, he's 53.
Yeah. I love the people that come in and go, oh, you're dressed like Spider-Man criticizing Nerdrotic. And I'm like, the dude has fucking a wall of toys behind him. What are you talking about? He's older than I am. So see, Katie did right here. Yeah, that's the one I was going to pull up. This is what I'm talking about. We have people who come into my channel that I've had conversations with. I've been on Katie Did's channel before, and I've been treated with respect. Nobody's talked shit to me. Nobody in the chat has talked shit to me. It's a completely different world than the grift space, the extreme outrage that we see. I have never seen Katie Did go into anybody's chat and leave comments about like MAGA, fuck you, blah, 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 nothing like that. And even though I do not agree with her politically, she's always been very kind to me. And so I don't have anything negative to say about Katie Did. And that is, I would like for the world to get back to a place where that's the kind of relationships you can have with people.
That's what I was telling you, man. Like, that is something that I've been trying to like learn from you on, man. It's like you're able to do that. It's not something I set up pretty strict boundaries with myself whenever I started doing this. And because in my mind, for the longest time, it's like, none of these people that I can encounter are going to be worth talking to, and like other than just to expose how shitty they are. Yeah. And I've been learning through you, you know, and how your interactions and stuff, that there is like this, there's kind of like this, seems like there's a segment of, I guess, Comics Gate-ish. I don't know if they subscribe to that term or not, but like they're kind of from that pool, but like they're not really of the same traditional Comics Gate mentality that I've been used to, and it's kind of like opening my eyes.
The thing about it is that if I truly believe, and this is something that that people may not agree with me on this, but I could not keep doing this every day if I did not have hope that there's a way to fix the divide between us. Because for the longest time, I would talk to Dane, I would get on here and say, there's no hope. It's all over. The people that we do not agree with are just a lost cause. And it was eating me up inside to the point where I just didn't even want to talk about this shit anymore, because what was the fucking point? What is the fucking point if I don't believe that people can come together and have some understanding? So I want to believe that there's not a lost cause. I want to think that there is a way for people to start to mend. And yes, there are extreme takes. I'm pretty sure that there are people in that group that don't like that I'm not a Trump supporter, that don't like all the things I believe in. But there are things that we found that we do sort of cross over on, and we're working through that stuff. And I think that's important. And it's not going to work for everybody. I'm not saying Hands Across America or whatever the fuck that shit was. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that, well, maybe I am. Maybe it is Hands Across America. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But you have to do what's good for you. For me personally, I want to try and mend some of these fences with people, and I want to try and make our community better. And I think we have to remember there's extreme people that make everyone, there's extreme people in the gay community that I have to argue about every single day, you know? Yeah. So
yeah, I mean, so, you know, the question becomes, and I'm doing another segue again. Hopefully we'll make it this time. how did people get to the point where, like, because for the longest time people could disagree politically and still like be, you know, civil and whatnot. Well, you know, this is kind of exactly how it happened, this type of thing, where people are on social media every day, all day in many cases, and that becomes a reality. And if you don't account for that and you aren't mindful of that effect, then that you just literally think that is just everything you're seeing in social media is reality. You know, and when it's very much disproportionately showing you the most extreme and you know, hostile takes in a lot of cases, different platforms to varying degrees, but like YouTube for sure is, if you're not, I've said it before, I'll say it again, exercise agency in your YouTube relationship.
Yes.
You have to, you know, do not be passive and just like let it show you whatever video pops up and go, okay, you know, because I did that for, you know, a while, few years ago, you know what I mean? I was letting that happen. And you know, you end up watching some crazy shit. And like, if you're not questioning that, if you're not kind of going, wait a second, what the fuck is this? Why am I, you know, you just have to, because otherwise.
I want, before we go any deeper, can I just address something here from Woke AF? Fix the divide. They created the divide. How do you fix the divide between racism, misogyny, homophobia, or xenophobia? If someone comes up and punches you, how do you fix the divide? But see, that's what I'm talking about. Let me explain my position on this. I've talked to people opposite of me who do not feel that way about gay people. They don't feel that way about people of color and stuff like that. So I've been very selective about the people who I have associated with that have different opinions than mine. Obviously, I'm not going to go up and platform somebody who hates black people or hates gay people. That doesn't make any sense to me. So for me, I am trying to help mend some of the damage that's done by smartly and strategically understanding associations and making choices that I think could help. If someone came out, say for example, tomorrow, one of the people that I had on my stream and that I considered to be someone that I was getting to know made a video where they were like, oh, gay people suck and they should be put in camps or something like that. Of course, I'm not going to continue talking to that person and platforming them. I'll denounce it. I would come out and be like, yeah, that's awful. Let's move on. But I can't live my life, as old as I am, I can't live my life just assuming that every single person that I encounter wishes the worst on me. I have to try and make a difference. And if you don't agree with that, that's fine. I'm not saying everybody has to look at the world that way, but that's just the way that I want to move through life. And it's a difference for me, for my mental health, for my emotional health, and I will always stand on my beliefs. And you can ask anybody, whether it be Low Watermark, Katie did, anybody, I never compromise my opinion or my beliefs when I'm in the space with people that disagree with me. The only difference is we don't yell and scream at each other, and there's none of that. So for me, that's the difference. I wouldn't platform and support people who believe in any of that other shit. Like, I wouldn't do that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, as far as like look, I get it, guys. For those of you who are like, I can't do that, like, believe me, I fucking get it. I struggle with it even right now as I'm trying to think of the words to say to express how I feel about it. Like, it's like my inclination is to just kind of like be defensive toward anybody that might possibly have hateful views toward my loved ones, and my gay loved ones, or whatever, just people of color in general, whether they're my loved ones or not, that type of thing. Like, I just fucking hate that shit. I mean, hate in the sense that I really don't like it. And I will fucking fight for other people to not be bullied and marginalized and otherized and harmed. I've done it before quite a bit in my life. I'm not like looking for an award or anything like that. It's just I don't know, kind of crazy. So but like, when it comes to, I think I've managed to help a couple of people almost by accident, right? Like, speaking directly to this Comicsgate issue, I've got a guy that I've communicated with a few times since it happened, but it was like 2 years ago now. The video is up on my channel where it's called Dane Gets Through to Two Comic Skaters or something like that. These two guys were in chat. We were talking about the Punisher for some reason in that video, in that stream, and somehow Comicsgate came up, and because of course it did on my channel, and like these two guys were like, well, I'm Comicsgate, and one of them was like, I'm actually gay, and I'm Comicsgate, and nobody's ever been bigoted to me, and I'm like, dude, that's great, I'm glad. I don't believe that 100% of people in Comicsgate are going to be 100% of the time bigoted towards 100% of every, you know what I mean? I don't fucking think that. But I think that you maybe are, you know, because you're useful to them, because as he told me, he was a writer for their website, or for a Comicsgate website. I don't know which one it was or whatever, but like, and I was like, yeah, man, you got to think because you're useful to them, but like, think about the people that aren't useful to them, the people that just kind of like don't trust some of the things they've seen around about what the Comicsgaters have said and stuff like that. And then he messaged me months later, and you know, I can show you the message where he's like, yeah, man, I did a lot of thinking about that, and that stream actually was a big, you know, kind of catalyst along with some other stuff in my life, and I'm not part of that anymore. I'm writing for a different website that actually pays me now. And like, whoa, you know, so like,
yeah. I want to be like, and I know people are going to push back on this, and I get it. Like, I don't sit around and let people walk all over me. That's what I'm like as a gay person when I'm in these different environments. I have been 1v8 in some of these streams where people have been 100% against me, and I fought back and I pushed back against all the stuff they're saying. And being there and being in that environment, I'm on the front lines of that shit. You know what I mean? I'm there. I'm in the middle of it. And I can tell you for a fact that some of the people that I've spoke with are not necessarily in agreement with all of the other stuff that's going on in the world. Now, I'm not going to go out and defend them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not here defending any of the people that I necessarily stream with. But at the same time, you would not see me invite someone onto my platform if I thought that they were in all of that. But I also don't think anyone in the chat, I want you guys to understand this. You got to protect yourself. You have to do what's right for you. If somebody's at my fucking door, you have to protect yourself, and you have to. They're coming for me. Somebody's coming.
Do I need to give the old Yeller analogy again?
Yeah, no, I get it. You got to protect your life. You know what I mean? You got to do what's right for you. And I'm never going to judge anybody for that. If you're like, fuck that, fuck everybody. I don't trust any motherfucking people. Okay, cool. I get it.
And I want to say that, like, for me, you know, like woke AF, like I guess I think you said that you're a black dude, right? Like that. When it comes to me, I'm very knowingly using my privilege as a white dude to, like, you know, put myself in positions that I would not expect, you know, a person of color or a queer person, you know, or anything to put themselves in. Like, that is why I started my channel, was like, I recognize, like, oh shit, I recognize how this is wrong. A lot of these things that people are saying, these things are believing, that are being, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I think that, you know, just kind of like the life I'd lived had put me in a position to where, like, I can deal with the backlash that I know I'm going to get if I, you know, say anything against this stuff. I was right. And like, yeah, I do that because I don't want anyone to put themselves in that position if they don't feel comfortable doing it. You know, but like also, yes, the analogy I've given before is the Old Yeller thing. If you've seen the movie Old Yeller or know about it, you probably know what the ending is. It's pretty fucking sad. And this is, once again, I always have to preface with this. I'm not saying you should shoot anyone like they're a dog. That is not what this analogy is saying. It's about, you know, just essentially protecting yourself from harm. I'm not saying that. I don't recommend doing that unless, you know, somebody's going to kill you or something. I don't know. I am not saying that conservatives are literally like rabid dogs. I'm not saying that. Look, it's been a while since I've had a fucking little clip going around anyways. Fuck it. I'll give him one. Throw him a bone.
Shoot the opposite. No.
Here we go.
Shoot your enemies on sight. No.
Oh, that's that one. That's it. That's the one.
Yeah, please do not do that.
Yeah, I've heard that too, man. That's kind of weird. But I mean, also the down button, like the down vote, down like, that also makes you feel really good if you don't like us. You should do that. Anyway, you know, protect your loved ones, protect yourself, but also empathy doesn't have to go away because you're being cautious. You know what I mean? That's really what the point of it is.
Do we want to watch this clip of Eric July? It's only
I want to see what that's about. Sure.
So, all right, here we go. Let's do this. The title of the clip is "Shout Out to Sturgis and Rip a Goalpost." Now, I want to preface this by saying Rip a Goalpost is a site or a account dedicated to harassing people. That's the only reason it exists, is to harass people. So the sheer fact that he's even using this as a source is already telling me that it's going to be bad. Let me pitch up the speed here on this. because he pauses way too much for me. All right, let's. It's a 3-minute clip. I know we're gonna like try and get through that. I'm gonna try and keep my mouth shut. Let's just see what
We're now Zero. What's up with 39 months? Good on you, bro, for ignoring the bullshit and focusing on the company and what fans want. You know, I appreciate you. I know you're one of the guys front lines out there correcting the record, man. I appreciate.
There we go, right there. He's acknowledging that someone is fighting for him.
Oh,
that's a problem.
Someone's in his corner. This poor helpless guy.
He's basically saying, "I'm glad you're on the front lines doing all this work for free for my company," and getting harassed himself for doing it, because Renowned Zero is getting harassed by other people because he's jumping into conversations and arguing with people.
Okay, you the big bad booty daddy.
What is Eric doing to fix that? Nothing. He's going to shout him out. Okay, here we go.
And yeah, obviously I'm best use to all of my customers focusing on the company. So laser focus, trying to grow this thing, injecting fun into this industry is what it's about for myself. So
how is this injecting fun into the industry? You shouted out somebody who's going around harassing people on your behalf. How is that injecting fun?
We see he's having fun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Katie did. Thank you for this clip. This is so far it's been funny. Let's
I mean, look, I'll admit that I've had
they get to talk.
I've got a thick folder full of memes and shit that it's a testament to the fun I've had with this guy at his expense.
Yeah, this is like a lightning round for me with Eric July. A 3-minute video will usually get a 20-minute clip out of me. So let's keep going.
Talk to themselves or talk to other people that are willing to engage with them. And I did see Ripper vs. Goldpost video that he shared of some guy was upset that I'm not engaging.
Some guy, Eric, you've made 2 videos about me. Ripper vs. Goldpost shares my content every single week. I love this like cowardice shit where he doesn't want to mention anybody. You know who I am.
It's not coward because he will mention the channels that are bigger than him that he can benefit from mentioning. He won't mention because he knows exactly how this fucking attention economy is gamed, because that's what he does. That's the reason. Yeah. That's the reason that these guys won't mention us, even though they fucking know who we are. Like all these
Put
guys.
Some respect on my name. Eric Debunks, who made you look like an idiot in that clip. And let's see what he has to say about it.
With them. I've accepted that. I don't think people will ever get used to it. Well, some people won't. Many will, but other people won't. It'll be a buffer because Eric July became a professional, and Eric July no longer is streaming and every day and spending so much time and going back and forth with people. Like, he's not doing that anymore.
No, but you're advocating other people to do it. There's no difference in that. You're doing it by proxy. For example, if I say I'm not going to fight with people on the internet, but then I echo and platform and shout out people that are doing it, then you are still actively participating in it. You're just doing it through somebody else. And it's different from like a fan. Like if you had a bunch of fans doing it and you were not retweeting them, you weren't commenting under their post, you weren't like, if you were completely like just not engaging with it at all, I would say, well, you're right. Maybe you are doing something different, but you're not, bro. You're not. You are actively fighting with people through other people, which is some coward shit. Either you're disconnected or you're not. That in between shit doesn't work, man. Like it's literally like you are standing behind the people who are doing the kicking and punching and you're cheering them on and you're giving them the means to do it. And they're all doing it in your name. That's a big L. That's a big L, Eric. For somebody who's saying like, I'm not going to get in this anymore, you are literally still in it. You might not be like waist deep in it, but you're knee deep in it. You're knee deep in it.
He's just delegated his drama.
People that don't like you would love for you to just shut the fuck up about this stuff and not talk about it and just be clowned. Just be a clown for them. That's what they want you to do, right? That's what they would want you to do. The only people who would want you to actively fight back and engage are the fans of your channel. Exactly. They want you to do that. I can tell you right now, I know this 100%. If Eric were to monetize a hater, I'm calling it right now, it would break 100,000 views. Because the people that watch your channel, that is the shit they want.
And other people.
So that was the whole clip that Ripper vs. Goldpost shared. And I'm like, that is a base, like, you turned my long video into a very based fucking clip. So
I saw this and I was really like excited because I've got a lot of 2-minute clips that I can send him. And also, dude, I don't know why they can't fucking get any decent like promotional art, but like holy shit, every single time it's complete utter ass.
What the fuck is this?
Oh my god. Look at what is the Yaira pose?
I don't even read comics and I never really have much. This looks awful.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe this is her death pose.
Yeah.
I mean, this looks cool if it's from someone that's like, you look at me, I'm learning, you know. It's like
my seventh grader is drawing superheroes. That's cool, man. It's really good, you know, that kind of thing. Like,
yeah, even just like this is still, I'd be impressed with most people, you know, if they're just like, oh yeah, I'm trying to get better, you know. But this
looks to me like
stuff.
they just took someone's picture and drew over top of them. That's what it looks like to me. It looks like they took photos of people in these poses and then just drew these characters over top of them.
Oh, yeah.
Because it looks like a really bad sort of tracing job.
They just took 3 people from the office.
Yeah.
Boy.
Oh, there was a little bit left on that clip of Eric.
Sorry. Let's
like,
finish
like 40 seconds. Yeah, just checking. I want to see what he has to say about me. Let's see what he says about calls me a clown or something.
Are basically shutting them down, so they're unable to. They're level. I guess this is what they were frustrated at, is that they're leveling things at me. I'm not engaging with them, but they're still not getting that benefit of going unchecked, and they're getting frustrated because of that, because other people are basically correcting them.
What is that logic? What
pure cope?
What is that? What does it even mean by that? So you're not going to refute what I said, which was that you are fighting through other people. So your response to that is a deflection, that somehow that's an issue for us. I react to your content all the time, never expecting you to respond, Eric. I never expect you to respond to it.
Y'all really bought that shit butt ass comic book. I'm crying.
Here we go. Yeah, Katie, we're going to finish the clip here. All right.
Seems to be making them mad. So not only am I not engaging, which is what they want from me.
Was I mad in that clip? Did I come across mad to anybody? I don't
know. They love to say that about you though. Whenever you're just like straight up fucking dropping some heat on them, just you know, you may be saying it in a very direct way that makes them uncomfortable, but it's not mad.
I mean, for the many comments I've had throughout my time on YouTube of people saying like, "Oh, you sound so boring. You need to sound more passionate." And then we have DJ who's very passionate about what he's talking about. They're like, "Oh, he's angry."
Yeah. So it's
you can never win.
That's two sides. We're either like apathetic or mad. That's
exactly. There's no in between.
Let's see here. We got 10 seconds left.
They want from me. They're still not able to just say just anything and then go unchecked. There's other people that are willing to check them on that. So yeah, I saw that video. It's kind of a trip.
Oh wait, this is Katie Did's little puppet here at the end.
Yes.
Clip and snip snip.
Okay.
All right. So thank you so much, Katie Did.
You kind of did something there inadvertently, because one of the things we planned on doing today was looking at maybe some videos that were critical of us, and it's like up until a little while ago I couldn't really.
I didn't have one. I had one, so that was my contribution there.
Randomly, so now we've started that segment. Let's just go ahead and head on into it, because I got some shit right here. Turf Nation, did you know you have? We're not going to say, because we know the game. Look, I don't think this guy's. I don't think he should be taken seriously. Really, he's actually kind of pretty cringe. But there's this guy that really likes you a lot, Turf.
Yes.
And I think people have asked us to talk about him before, and we're just like, I don't know, man. But like, it seems kind of fun. And I've done a little editing here just to make sure that things are,
That's the thing. I've never wanted to cover this person because I've never wanted to like give them the time of day or at least say their name. I'm fine with watching a video without them because this person is insane.
Yeah,
and it's
I mean, either insane or he's just like trying so hard to be like an edgy that it's like it's.
And if you're trying that hard, you are also insane.
It's pretty. You've got some kind of thing going on where you're like really sad and lonely and desperate. And it's bad.
Thank you.
Let me see where the hell this shit's at. Oh well, first of all, there's this situation. which we're going to be following up on this. I'm going to be following up on it with some video pretty soon. But what? Pro Antifa YouTubers targeting bounding into comics? That's fucking terrible. That sounds awful, guys. Organized chaos, actual fandom. Oh shit! Let's bring this guy on to answer for this. Bob, you wanna explain this? What's going on, man?
Do I get browbeat somebody?
I mean, that's apparently what we're doing. So that's what we do. That's our thing. We browbeat the presence of Christianity in modern media. That's all we do. You know that.
Yeah, that's how we roll.
Hello.
I mean, come on.
Can you explain why we do? Why are we like this, Turf? We browbeat the presence of modern Christianity in modern media. Why do we do that?
Because we're fucking jealous, man.
That's what it is.
We're jealous of success.
Yep.
We wish we could be like them, and so we do the good old kindergarten tactic of when you have a crush on a girl, you bully them. That's what we're doing.
You know, we want their fans to come look at our channel, and
but maybe we should try just like doing the exact same thing that they do, though. Instead, wouldn't that be a better avenue to?
That's a good idea. Fuck Brie Larson.
Fuck her. All right, so there's that. But
I'm looking forward to that.
This one's all about you, right here, Turf.
Oh, I can't wait.
Guys, prepare your cringe bags or whatever.
Very soon, he's going to have the power to destroy Star Wars. But I believe he won't stop there. He can't. He won't stop until there's nothing left at all.
What is he?
He is you. You're opposite. You're negative. The result of the equation trying to balance itself out.
And if I can't stop him?
One way or another, this war is going to end. Tonight, the future of Star Wars will be in your hands.
I just want to say, like,
I love my setup in this video.
This is all about I know it's actually really fucking flattering, but like, this is all about Star Wars fandom, and then yet this guy chooses the Matrix to do a thing with, and it's like, come on, man.
Yeah, it's odd. You could have found something.
There has to be something like in Star Wars about like light forces and dark forces against each other or something he could have used. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah,
you'd have to dig.
But listen, I'm not complaining. He's making me sound cool.
Yeah, I love that. Whenever these haters make it sound really cool.
Yeah.
Or in his.
That's
hello there. This is Darth.
Oh fuck! I wish I had more of a at that point interesting profile picture, because it doesn't really come off as imposing.
I mean, not really. That kind of makes it funnier, though. You know.
Yeah, but be ready for this. He's just pure brain rot.
Yeah.
And leader of the Knights of. I've been on YouTube for 2 years. After giving the garbage sequel trilogy its full shots, I raged after seeing.
Okay, so one thing I want to say about this guy, Midwesterner, for sure. You hear it, right? You guys hear it?
Episode 9 in theaters.
Take that ridiculous thing off.
Hello. My name is Darth. And I'm fucking tired of Disney Star Wars. My number one goal was to gain enough power and influence to get the sequel trilogy retconned.
That's fucking delusional, dude. That is fucking delusional. Like, what does that really?
Bro is almost there. He just has to keep going.
Yeah,
plugging away.
Yeah.
That has transitioned to hashtag sell Star Wars. Fuck Disney. Also, by using the dark side of the Force, I wanted to bring balance to the Star Wars fandom. It's been a very productive 2 years, unleashing the dark side on the Star Wars fandom, exposing the Disney shills, the trash content creators, and triggering all the whiny sequel lovers. For about the same time, a little longer, there's been another channel doing something very similar, yet the exact opposite. They don't hate the sequels. They love the sequels. What? They don't want them destroyed. They want the story to continue. Instead of exposing Disney shills, they expose...
Why did you fucking say it like that?
Disney shills.
It is. It's like I don't know, Doom Weenie or something. Like, just... he's like the yeah, it is kind of like that, right? Like, this is... It's... Oh God,
something's going on in his head, and
toxic people in the Star Wars fandom. His name is Turf Nation. Turf Nation is a Disney show.
Your mother.
look at his about section. I call that toxic community says fandoms.
Nice.
What the fuck is going on? Like, yeah, I think it was maybe Blissful Hayes said earlier that he thought that maybe this guy was like satirizing grifters, but he's not. He's just doing this, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Bro's really offended.
If he really wanted to just like kind of I don't know, he could if he gets tired of doing this, man. If you ever end up seeing this, of course you will. Of course you will see this. You might be watching all the time anyway. Who knows? But like, you could stop doing the kind of bullshit content you've been doing and just kind of suddenly do like a Andy Kaufman reveal and be like, I've been fucking with you the whole time. I'm actually a cool dude and Turf Nation's great. And you know, I don't know. You can
actually
pivot.
Bob Chaos.
You can do a little pivot there, is all I'm saying.
No.
Or you could just delete your channel. All right.
If you feel there's someone out there who's bringing a bad vibe, then let me know, aka anyone that triggers you. The guy is a total snowflake, whining about anyone that dislikes the sequel trilogy. Wah, you're being toxic. Sadly, he's got a following of people that eat up.
Dude, that's like half your following now.
Yeah. That's true. This is a while ago. But also it's always great hearing someone call you a snowflake when they're sounding like this.
When he's actually
and they're so upset about
movies, right?
Yeah.
Like,
there are these people and they actually like these movies. Oh, they're snowflakes. So okay, nice. Nice, buddy.
This whiny pussy garbage. This generation is
look, look, okay. I'll be real. I'm always telling Turf, dude, I'm tired of your whiny pussy garbage, okay?
Yeah.
It's already soft. We don't need whiny sequel cocks like Turf Nation making it worse. Turf Nation made a video ranking all of the Star Wars movies.
Yes.
This easily proves he's a Disney shill and a fake fan. Number 1, he has Empire Strikes Back. Number 2, The Last Jedi.
Hey, fucking base, dude. That is the list right there. That is it. I think you and I pretty much agree on the list, more or less.
Yeah.
Right?
I want to see if I still agree with this list because again, it is like 2 years ago I made this.
I mean, Last Jedi.
I mean, so far, like, yeah, these are at least in my top 3.
He thinks The Last Jedi is the second best Star Wars movie. Number 3, you got New Hope. Number 4, The Force Awakens. At number 4, he put the garbage, rehashed, horribly written movie The Force Awakens. Number 4. 5, Revenge of the Sith.
Who goes that hard at The Force Awakens, man?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like
he went harder on that one than The Last Jedi.
It's like, okay, look, if you don't like it because it's clearly what it is a bit of a copy paste thing, fine. But like, I don't know, I can't imagine having that kind of hatred for it.
5, Number 6, shits on Return of the Jedi. 7, Attack of the Clones. 8, The Phantom Menace. And number 9, he puts The Rise of Skywalker last. Why would he
what
do
a Disney shill.
So my least favorite Star Wars is The Rise of Skywalker.
No!
The more I think
This is such an old video. This is such an old video.
Your audio was ass, dude.
What? It was ass, and I still have trouble speaking, but I don't know.
You did gaming footage content, man. I didn't know that about you, Turf. I'm really fucking. I don't know, man.
For a while, I did that even in the beginning when we started the initiative.
Confirm that Turf is a fan of Leafy is here. That's where.
Yes, I'm the second coming of Leafy.
I don't think he is a grifter. I think he's just kind of fucking unwell and obsessive.
That's the thing. I remember this guy from because way early in my channel when I was a part of other Discord groups and stuff, and him and his people, they were creeps. They were weirdos, and I believe they believe in this stuff.
Yeah.
If anything, they're just very sad, and they need something to put it into.
Like I want to give him some points for look, he's doing some character work and stuff like that, but then I have to remove that because the character work is ass and it's just kind of like derivative Doomcock shit. So no point. You actually end up with negative points. Not only he's real. Like, I mean, it's real. There's several videos. He's got a whole channel. I've looked at his looked at his Twitter and stuff like that. It's a whole thing, man. It's fucking upsetting to know that somebody exists like this.
About this movie, the more I hate it.
Now you might be saying that man.
Oh, so this video is going to be more painful for me to just hear my old voice in my videos than
We
any
have
of
to
the
watch
criticisms
more of
he's
this, man.
going
I
to.
just wanted
No. Let's get through it. It's
okay.
It's,
All
it's
right.
funny.
I mean, it's not
funny.
the full video of his, by the way. It's only about 6.5 minutes of his video.
Yeah. All right.
What do you mean those parody things I used to make? What, like what?
Are you him?
No.
Oh. No.
Is in the Disney show, he publicly ripped on the Rise of Skywalker. Hold on. Turf Nation is your typical Disney shill. They will show respect to the original trilogy. They'll put the sequels at the top of the rankings and the prequels at the bottom. In this case, Turf Nation ranked The Last Jedi at the top. Turf Nation is an SJW and part of the Ryan Johnson Twitter mob.
What I loved about this whenever I was kind of like editing it down was just like how he just makes these claims and then like, and that's evidence, it's a proof that he's a Disney shill is that he's a Disney shill and shit like that. It's like, wow, well argued, man. Well argued.
People shill for The Last Jedi.
I've talked about it in quite some detail before, stating how I love Luke's character arc, how I love Rey's parentage, how I love Rey and Kylo's dynamic, how I love the visuals, the fights, the music, the cinema.
Typically, they don't like The Rise of Skywalker because there was an attempt to retcon or devalue the events of The Last
You're goddamn right. Exactly, yes.
Right.
Jedi. So that's why he despises The Rise of Skywalker. But he still defends it. Turf Nation is a Disney shill.
So first thing that happens was a comment called me Turd Nation.
Shill Nation.
This is that. Look, I'll be honest. This is actually the funniest thing in his old videos. He
Turd
does
Nation,
where he's like, "Shill Nation, that's your new name."
That's a good name for you. What's your name?
Turf Nation.
Shill Nation got into the Star Wars community.
Why does he think that you're Napoleon Dynamite? Is what I like.
I don't know, man. It's also, honestly, even though this man is something's wrong with him, and his video was way better than mine were back then. I'm just gonna say that. He put some thought into this, even if it's negative thought. At least it's something.
Community by trashing the community, calling the fans toxic, and he's been grifting and shilling for Disney ever since.
I'll say it right now. Star Wars fans are the most toxic fan base in the world. And the hate from the prequels has just moved on over to the sequels.
Also true.
Facts are facts.
Yeah.
Facts don't care about your feelings.
Exactly.
After his initial video calling out...
I'd be curious if whether, like, would I still say that Star Wars fandom is the most toxic of, like, traditional fandoms nowadays? I don't know.
I would say that honestly, because of groups like the Fandom Menace, that it's kind of just exploded and bled into other fandoms, and it's all just like kind of like overflowing with each other now. They're all cross contaminated.
Like,
well, because now they don't even have to engage in the content; they can just shit on stuff without even watching it or anything.
Like, it's almost evolved past just the Star Wars fandom. You know, it's not individual fandoms that are toxic anymore. It's just like it's toxic fans in general who are part of everything. You know, and like you said, they don't even need to engage with things anymore. And
Luca,
think about,
I'm not going to highlight your comment, but I think that would be the best death match ever. I want to see that happen. Those two guys.
Now thinking about it, this video, because I think this one by the one we're watching, I think that's 2 years old. So the one we're watching is like, or that he's responding to is 4 years ago. So
are you serious right now? Because I'll fucking fuck you off this. You know, I don't know whose chat you're in, but you can fuck off with this kind of bullshit immediately. Sorry.
Traditional fandoms.
It's gatekeepy shit.
Yeah, that's like,
we don't like that.
if you're on my channel in particular, you know, don't be. But like, yeah, I mean, just
It's not on mine. I've got my chat open, so
this kind of fucking, you know, it's my fandom and not yours. And like, you know, look, dude, I've been a fan of the shit that I'm a fan of. Oh, mine, cool, fuck off. I've been a fan of the shit that I'm a fan of since as long as I can remember, and I don't fucking gatekeep it because I think that's fucking lame, and I think that's really insecure. That if you can't handle other people that have a different relationship to the media that you like than your relationship, it's like, you know, not being able to see your partner talking to another guy or whatever, like, you know, oh no, get away from that guy, that kind of shit.
Yeah. Also, I'm sorry to say this, buddy, but it's not just the My Hero Academia fandom that had death threats sent. that has happened quite a lot within Star Wars and many other.
Oh,
fandoms.
We've gotten, you know, I've got around here, knocking around here somewhere. I've got those voice recordings.
Yeah, I mean, we've all had we've had death threats too. So
yeah,
it's happened.
Yes, it happens way often.
There was that one guy that sent us out like several death threats via voice memo and email, and then eventually he just sent one apologizing for it all.
Yeah,
wasn't it Nathaniel something? Nathaniel?
Yeah, no, I don't. Was it Nathaniel? No, it's a different one, right?
Well, Nathaniel was the one that sent me all those emails, the ones that I shared on here, where it was like,
were they voice note memos?
No, these were just emails, regular emails.
No, Nathaniel he's fucking no, somebody else that did the voice memo thing.
Maestro says, what do they mean traditional fandom? I'm assuming they mean like the first 3 films of the.
No, it was Nathaniel who.
And then also you have to think certain things about those 3 films, or
things.
It was Nathaniel.
Yeah, who sent me the voice messages?
Oh, okay.
I want to say Nathaniel Howard, I think was his name.
Yep, that was it.
Star Wars fans, he called out Anomaly Inc. Shill Nation tries to come off as a Star Wars fan that embraces opinions. He's also a good guy because he calls out toxic fans.
Good as a point of view, Anakin.
The truth is, Shill Nation
it's so funny that he uses like a villain character to prove his point. It's like, you know.
Yeah.
Disney shill that is triggered by sequel trilogy criticism.
But then he uploaded this fucking video. And holy fuck, I'm having an aneurysm.
He takes his viewers through extreme.
That's going to be a drop, Turf. I hope you realize that.
Ed, go ahead.
Holy fuck, I'm having an aneurysm.
Mental gymnastics in an attempt to justify the sequel trilogy. He's made several videos whining about other anti-sequel trilogy content creators, and to discredit their view on the sequels, he labels them toxic.
You're just toxic. Shut.
Okay. So I will go ahead and reveal this now, I suppose. I already have a drop of that ready to go.
Oh.
Up. You're just toxic.
Another layer of deception is he tries to come off as a neutral Star Wars fan, but all you need to do is watch one video to know he has resentment toward the prequels.
You're just toxic. Shut up. You're just toxic.
Fun as a child, but I've just gotten older, and I like movies with more real characters.
I'm just right.
Actual themes and emotionally driven scenes. Luke's character arc in The Last Jedi is the best and most well-written arc in all of Star Wars. The prequels don't give me this.
Shill Nation is a giant Disney shill.
Overbite. I've only read a couple of the issues, but yeah, man, it's legitimately fucking exciting shit. I've never really been, as an adult, I've never been able to get into Transformers like the way that I was when I was a kid, when I was all about the toys. But these new comics, the Skybound comics are doing it. They're doing some cool shit. I'm saying.
Listening back to this, I don't know how anyone ever started watching me to begin with.
He's made several videos shilling for the sequel trilogy.
I just really love the sequel trilogy because I love Star Wars so much.
He even made a series called Rise of the Sequels, attempting to debunk videos that rip on the sequels.
I always agree that Snoke just being killed like that is lackluster, but like I said before, I don't really care. Rey and Kylo were so much more interesting anyway. Star Wars fans really hate the idea of women being characters in movies. Rey's parentage is the most important subversion of the whole film.
Where am I recording this?
Were you also kind of sitting back and like smoking a cigarillo while you were doing this? Like just taking, I don't know. It seems like you have some kind of like you're at a speakeasy or something.
I'm in a, I don't know, man. I'm also just in a full-on echo chamber, a literal echo chamber.
Literal.
So,
what do you mean by this, everybody? I was with you, and then the second comment here, I'm not sure. What hard to be positive because of the bad, because of what bad stuff that gets made, the things that you think is bad, because we got to check our not trying to be a dick, but like we do have to check our entitlement levels on these things, and like if we are expecting everything that comes out to be hit our specific preferences and hit it just right, and if it doesn't, then like, oh, how dare it, and then that's just kind of an unhealthy way to engage with fandom. Or if you're talking about the bad elements of fandom, yeah, that could be frustrating, but compartmentalize, I guess. It was Turf 12 when he recorded. I mean, he's only 14 now, so yeah.
I mean, this was 4 years ago, so I was 10 back then.
Yeah, you're what is it, 14 Danish garble smopples or whatever it is?
Exactly. You got it spot on.
Purposeful. If you're honestly annoyed that she wasn't a Kenobi or a Skywalker, then you need to grow up.
Grow up.
Nice.
Grow up.
You need to grow up.
You're just toxic. Shut.
All right. Well, that was something.
All right. That was that. I'm glad we did that.
Same, yeah. For some reason, yeah. Nice. Yeah. I don't have too much longer, but what's another thing? What's next?
Another thing is just this is worth showing again.
We can't find any solution to our cultural and political problems through the political system, and that perhaps it's time to look to older systems, strongman, monarchy, even dictator.
The right is doing every single fucking thing they've been accusing the left of doing, which is really, they typically just mean like goddamn Democrats, for years. They're doing it all. They've been doing it all. They've been saying that the left wants to fucking take away democracy. They want to end fucking America as we know it, in freedoms. I have never seen the third most popular fucking left wing, even Democrat fucking aligned media outlet having a fucking sit down conversation about ending democracy. Man, Daily Wire is. Anyway.
Yeah. True.
Is anybody watching Acolyte?
Not on the day that it comes out, no, but I do end up watching it.
Oh, the episode was so good this week.
Really?
Yeah, it was probably one of my favorite episodes of TV ever.
What?
Oh wow! I'm excited to watch it then. I haven't watched it yet.
It's pretty fucking epic. There was a clip I shared on Twitter that kind of shows that like it's basically a half an hour of lightsaber battles, pretty much the whole episode.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it's pretty fucking crazy.
Similar to what they did in the prequels.
I mean, I gave it a 10 out of 10 in my review today, so it's
oh cool.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. Are you guys watching The Boys?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. By the way, the new video up on my channel just went up right before the stream. It's got myself and Turf Nation talking about The Boys.
Wow. What are you guys thinking of the new season?
Well, I mean, we talked about it yesterday, so.
Okay, fair. Go watch the video.
Well, I'm reviewing it every week, so I'm pretty locked in for the season.
All right, yeah, okay. So everyone go check out DJ's channel.
I mean, like the show's been excellent enough that like even though the first few episodes were a little bit of a softer start than what I expect from it starting a season out. But the most recent episode was fucking phenomenal and like a series standout, I think. There's a lot of really emotionally impactful stuff happen. Good shit.
Yeah.
So this comment here, I truly don't get it. I really don't get it. Like there was one bad episode, which was episode 3. But the rest of the season has been very intriguing to me, and I just
was the one that ended with the fucking Sith doing his cool reveal, right?
Yeah, I just don't. I'm not seeing it, is what I'm saying. Like I've been watching Star Wars my entire life, and I think that this is one of the best TV shows in the Star Wars universe. It's definitely not you know, it's not the quality of like a movie or whatever, but it's a really good TV series. I just don't understand the like, I've yet to hear like a sound reason why it's not good, other than people mad that the like lore and canon that was erased in 2014 is being ignored, which
yeah,
like it was erased almost a decade ago now. So
I have something here about now that I remember, you know, I've seen a lot of stuff about how they're fucking up the lore and the canon's sacred and stuff. And like, and then I found this, I just happened upon this short, you guys know who Sam Witwer is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I just like found this really interesting in context of that.
Not convinced there is a Sith code. Right. But then I was like, but let's make it canon. I very proudly mumbled little pieces of the Sith code because I knew that if it made it into the episode, then it was canon. There was a line in Mortis where one of the characters, the son actually says,
The chains are the easy part.
The chains are the easy. He refers to chains in the Mortis thing.
Yes.
And in the Sith code, there's this whole thing, you know, through victory, my chains are broken. If I'm getting that right, I might remember it wrong, but something about my chains are broken.
Yes.
I'm like, what would he be doing in this cave if he's mumbling to himself? I mumbled pieces of that code.
For example, I thought it might be interesting to quote the Sith code.
Strength I gain power. Through power I gain victory. Victory, my chains are broken. The chains are the easy part. Through victory, my chains are broken. The chains are the easy part.
Pieces of that code.
You know, that you just have to say the stuff and it makes it in the episode and like it's canon now, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like there's like a really you know, strict process for making things canon. And if an actor can decide to do it on something that, you know, just like, oh, I'm going to make this official Sith code.
There's so many things in Star Wars that have just been changed. And you know, like George Lucas just going, well, I like this new idea better.
Yeah.
Like it's happened throughout the entirety of Star Wars.
Janice, the weird thing is that the Acolyte has several, like at least 2 male leads as well.
Yeah.
So the idea that we have Amandla playing like the twins, we also have Saul, we have Kamir, we have other characters that are getting a lot of screen time. It's just, the story sort of reflects around, you know, the twins, but the other characters play important roles as well. So I feel like it's not a clear, like this is the main only important character in the whole series. I feel like there's, I don't know. I'm trying to understand that why people are mad at the show, and I'm just not getting a good read on it. I mean, fire in space, and they have the same haircut, and we don't like witches. I mean, I just
all things.
I don't understand. I mean, I don't get it.
Fires have been in space throughout the entirety of Star Wars. Witches have been it.
She's a former Padawan who could put out sustained fires in the vacuum of space. Sustained fires in the vacuum of space. Sustained fires in the vacuum of space. Fires in the vacuum of space. Fires in the vacuum of space. Sustained fires in the vacuum of space.
Did you see the tweet that he put out today?
Nerdrotic?
Yeah. Let me see if I can find it quickly. I retweeted it, but then I had a misspelling in it, and then I just deleted it and was like, oh, I don't care.
No, I mean, I think you misunderstand Ronan art and music, I believe. I mean, if you're saying that like we aren't understanding something that you can explain as if it's fact, then no, you can't, because it's literally just an opinion and no, you're not really.
Put it this way, you're not going to convince me to dislike it because you don't like it. So there's no point in
and it's kind of weird that you would want everybody to dislike it with you, you know, if that's what the case is.
So here is the here's the tweet from Nerdrotic here. And it's talking about Mundy, you know, the character from fucking the prequel series. Did you hear all the discourse around him about okay. So the idea that the Sith were not actually extinct was covered in the prequels. That was the point, was that he was wrong about it.
Yeah.
When he said that the Sith are extinct, we haven't seen them for a millennia. He was wrong about it. So the fact that there are going to be Sith in some of these offshoot stories just you know, it cements the fact that he was wrong.
Yeah, let's in that same video, let me get to that part real quick, and we can kind of just do a quick look at that, the history of Ki-Adi-Mundi and his rightness of things.
Ki-Adi-Mundi is just a pillar of
Star Wars fans go ballistic over the Acolyte's canon-breaking cameo. Canon-breaking.
When I first knew you, your father was already a great pilot.
Anakin Skywalker, meet Obi-Wan Kenobi.
How did my father die? A young Jedi named Darth.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm sorry for misunderstanding, but I mean, at the same time, man, like we're the guys that explained that to people. So I mean, you know, appreciate it, but you should start a channel and start explaining it to people. Let me know if you need any help with that.
Vader helped the Empire hunt down and destroy the Jedi Knights. He betrayed and murdered your father.
I am your father.
Canon-breaking.
Do you remember your mother? Your real mother?
She was very beautiful, kind, but
did I pass up the Ki-Adi-Mundi part? I hope not.
I don't think so. I think it comes after.
I have no memory of my mother.
She was very beautiful, kind, but sad.
Canon-breaking.
Haven't gone by the name of Obi-Wan since all before you were born.
Canon-breaking.
Yes, I bet you have.
I bet you have.
I bet you have.
Canon-breaking. And yes, Ki-Adi-Mundi was in this episode. Now, the first thing that a lot of people thought was, oh, that's weird because, you know, Ki-Adi-Mundi, very well known for saying this phrase.
Impossible.
Very well
The
known.
Sith have been extinct for a millennium.
I do not believe the Sith could have returned without us knowing. Somehow, the Sith returned.
Impossible.
I think the Count Dooku was behind it.
He is a political idealist, not a murderer.
Shut up, bitch! You don't know what you're talking about.
Well, the thing about it is, doesn't that just prove that they were all wrong? That's the whole point of the prequels. Why are we looking at this and going, he was right? He was fucking wrong. That was the point.
Let me show you a fucking tweet I responded to earlier, because holy shit, man, they are going out of their minds trying to fucking make this shit look bad in ways that it just, you're not doing yourselves any favors, man, with this kind of stuff. But where's that? Okay, so this Lucas Star Wars girl tweeted. Let me pull that up. 7 Jedi plus an already dead Wookiee Jedi killed off screen, and none of them could sense a Sith nearby. They only draw sabers, and Darth Gimp has already appeared. Okay, well, that's fucking stupid because, oh man, wait until you see the fucking prequels when Yoda and then like all the most badass powerful Jedi couldn't sense the fucking darkest Sith Lord underneath their noses.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like media literacy, they are either media illiterate or they're fucking liars. That's it. Yeah. That's the only two options. You cannot tell me that you loved those movies so much and you totally missed the fact that the Sith were doing all of this under their noses the entire time. That was the whole fucking point of that trilogy.
Right, exactly. Well, Greg, you said it at the exact same time, and this commenter, you asked earlier, and I wasn't sure what you were asking, right? But now I get it. It doesn't make any sense. It's silly. Okay. Would I have liked a story like I don't know what that story is about because I haven't read all the expanded universe stuff from back in the day or whatever. From what I understand, some of it's not very well written. Okay, but maybe it's great. I don't know. But like, if you already had it to read and you know that it's a good thing, why don't you just explore that? Read that. Why do you, let me think of how I need to say this. You do have to just accept it. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be a dick and just like trying to dismiss you, but you have to accept it because that is simply the reality in which you exist. Railing against it, is only going to drive you insane. Now, when you say this side of the aisle, I'm not sure what that means, except that people that have accepted that these movies have been made and this is what Disney's decided to do with them and they own the IP. And so that's just the end of that. I don't know what you're expecting here. Is it because people aren't validating your opinion? Because I could say that you could do anything with the story. And as long as it's very well done, or, and done lovingly and stuff like that, then anything could have been the thing that was done with Luke's story. Right? Like, I mean, I don't get it.
But because it seems to me like this comment is made looking for two extremes. You either completely hate it and there's no redeeming qualities about it at all, or you love it and there's no criticism of it. And that is not where I exist. I've criticized stuff that I love all the time. Like I do reviews on my channel and I've talked about the stuff that I don't like in the Acolyte specifically. So you can't be talking about me.
You're a Disney shill.
I would have liked to see some, more stuff of Luke, actually, some more stuff in the Jedi, his Jedi Academy before it fell. That would have been cool to see. So in that way, I guess I could say that I'm not 100% satisfied with how it played out. But I'm very much of the mind that, I am willing to grant a storyteller the chance to tell me the story, and I will accept it as best faith with it, and just like, instead of fighting it at every step and like, I don't like this, I don't like that, I will just try to accept it from beginning to end. And if I can, accept that in the entirety of that story, then great. That's awesome. That's what I want to do. I want to have a full storytelling experience. And yeah, I don't get people that are just looking for things to be a certain way, and you're going to reject it if not.
I mean, I've said, look, I didn't like Boba Fett. I thought that was not a great series. I liked the Mandalorian episodes of it, but I didn't like the rest of it. I thought it was kind of a failure. Wasn't a big fan of the Obi-Wan series. I know it was nostalgia bait. I get it. I didn't really like it. But I'm enjoying Acolyte. I didn't like episode 3. I think there's a world where you can be like, okay, this show is all right. It's okay. Some of the stuff I really like, some of the stuff I don't like. These polarizing shits, like the stuff that Nerdrotic and Critical Drinker does, where you shouldn't engage in it at all because I don't like one thing about it, is the most caveman fucking take ever. It's so fucking stupid.
Here's my take on the Acolyte. It's probably, I don't know if it's my least favorite thing, but it's not, like I said earlier, I don't watch it the day it comes out, and that's because it's not something that I'm excited to watch every week, but I will watch it. I'm a Star Wars fan, and I want it to, there's been some amazing moments and stuff like that. There's been a couple episodes that are better than others. And when I say better, I don't mean that the other ones are bad. I'm just saying that it's not connected with me or didn't get me excited in a way that I'm used to with Star Wars. And
we love it so much, we watch it the minute it comes out on Disney Plus. Like the minute it gets released, we're watching it. So there are people that feel that way about it. And I think that's the whole point. We've talked about this before, Dane, and I'm going to have to give you a shout out on this one. Something cannot be objectively bad if you disagree about it, because that disproves that it's objectively bad. So, like, I'm saying that we love it. We watch it the minute it comes out, but apparently it's awful and everybody hates it. If you look at, like, Nerdrotic and these other channels. Like,
well, there's just a lot of
it's not the world we live in, man.
Like, being a fan of something, it's not about just blindly hating or blindly loving something,
right?
Like, you can absolutely still be a fan even though you don't like one of the TV shows, or you don't like parts of it, or you think, this was just all right. That's not like criticizing something, being or not liking something and talking about it.
Could you imagine if people, if these channels were watching Lost right now while it was on TV? Could you imagine how have you guys watched Lost? Have either of you watched that show?
I watched.
Oh yeah. I was a big
quite a bit of it.
Can you imagine how many seasons they broke their own canon and their own lore in that show all the way up to the end? They would have lost their fucking minds trying to dissect that show. To them, it would have been the worst show on television, but for years, it was the most popular show on television.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think you know what objectively means.
So if you say Acolyte is bad and it's objectively bad, and I go, no, I actually like it, then that means it's not objectively bad.
Yeah.
You can say that objectively the lighting is really dark in that scene and it's hard to see things. You could say objectively they used music that isn't as popular as some of the other music. There's a lot of ways you can objectively talk about art, but the actual art being good or bad, there is no objective yes or no.
Yeah. Whenever you attribute quality to a piece of art, it cannot be objective.
Tiberius, this guy, no. I mean, it's just not true. I mean, sorry. Like you guys, you discount a lot of people because what you're doing is you're looking at YouTube numbers, dude, and you're looking at downvotes on fucking Rotten Tomatoes, and you're thinking that's it. That tells us all we need to know. You're not realizing the fact, and you probably can't even fucking internalize what I'm about to say because it'll just like be incongruent with your whole fucking, the things you think. But like most people
it's not a metric. That's not a metric, by the way.
Most people are not fucking engaging in this shit online, period. Most people have no idea that this conversation, this discourse is even happening. There are plenty of people watching the show and they're either liking it or they're not liking it or they're loving it or whatever the fuck, it doesn't matter, but they have no idea that Nerdrotic is out there doing this, that Drinker's saying this, that I'm saying whatever, that they don't fucking know, they don't fucking care, because most people aren't, terminally online fucking brain-addled people.
Your hatred is also a much like better motivator to go online and leave bad reviews than like enjoying.
I didn't say that it was just a statement on YouTube. I'm saying that this just a fact that your perspective on this is informed by this. The guys you mentioned tells me where you're coming at this from, man.
I'm just going to ask you this, and this is what I say in all my videos. Give me proof that what you're saying is true. Show me something that tells me that the majority of people who are watching this show don't like it or they're ignoring it. And you can't use stuff that can be manipulated, like Rotten Tomatoes and things like that. Give me some sort of proof. Give me proof. Give me a citation saying most people is not a metric. Saying that most people agree with them is not a metric. That is not a measurement.
That feels true, right? I mean, that might even be true that they've expressed dislike. But I mean, there's also, how can you even possibly know that whenever a lot of the shit that's been expressed is inorganic,
again,
fucking
more
bullshit.
People is not a measurement.
Yep.
That doesn't make you right by saying that. That is not a measurement. Most people, more people, these nebulous terms do not make you correct. See, look.
Because you're the one making a claim. Do you understand?
Right, exactly. Yep.
You're making a positive claim, and that is up to you. The burden of proof is on you to back that up. The burden.
I never said everyone loves it. I never said more people love it than hate it. I never made that claim. I said that there are people that like it.
But you're so invested in the fucking trenches of this culture war bullshit that you feel like you have to make this statement, this positive statement, that there's just so many people, more people. But we're not trying to make the opposite statement. So,
I'm not trying to convince you to like it. If you don't like it, you don't have to watch it. I have to say this every week. I'm not the opinion police where I'm twisting your arm and saying you have to love the show. All I'm saying is that the show is not awful objectively. It is not hated objectively. I don't use those kinds of terms. I don't say things like that. That is a really bad way to view media. And that's why we don't have nuance in conversation about quality. I can't even talk about the nuance of an episode without hearing woke, SJW, identity politics. I used to love talking about this shit on the internet. I used to love going into the forums and having conversations about it. Who shot first? Those kinds of debates were fun. Now it's like, oh, there's a woman, so it's woke, or oh, there's a gay person, it's woke. You won't believe what this director said 5 years ago. Like, these are the conversations we're having. And the fact that you guys think that somehow that's a conversation about the quality of the art is baffling to me. You need to get back into loving and engaging in the content and making your own opinions about it.
Yeah, you're using these types of framings like objectively and then thinking about, I don't look, if I enjoy something, I don't give a fuck if 99% of all other fans think it sucks. I don't give a fuck.
I don't care either.
It is about my fucking personal connection to a thing. And I may try to passionately tell people, give it a chance, man, you should give it a chance, but I'm not going to fucking show up to try to convince people who like something that they should not like something, or that they're bad or wrong, or that they're part of some fucking out group for not liking it. What the fuck is that about? That is a weird fucking way to engage in fandom, man. I think you should fucking really reflect on that. Question when did you start doing that? Did you always engage in fandom this way? Were you always using it as a fucking social culture? I don't know, man. But think about it.
Well, think about this. They want to use Rotten Tomatoes, not Tiberius. I'm not claiming you, but a lot of these channels want to use Rotten Tomatoes. Has anybody in here, and I'm being honest, and I want an honest answer, if you can bring that upon yourself, ever been like, I don't like this movie, but then the movie has like a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes, and you've gone over there and you've gone, fuck, I guess I have to like this movie now. It's changed my entire opinion about the movie because 90% of the people on Rotten Tomatoes have loved it. No, I can almost guarantee the answer is going to be no from people. They're not going to do it. But You expect us to admit that Star Wars is bad because Rotten Tomatoes scores are low. So therefore, we can't actually like it. We have to just agree with Rotten Tomatoes. You see what I'm saying? That's the framing that these channels do. And the fact that so many people are brain dead to that and follow into that and just blindly go with that is fucking crazy world to me. It is crazy world.
Logan is one of my favorite movies. I honestly consider it a masterpiece. And that's fine that you don't like it. It doesn't bother me at all. Like you got to ask yourself, if you feel some kind of like weird defensiveness because somebody likes or dislikes something that you feel the opposite way about, that's about you, man. That is about your fucking sense of I guess security, to be honest.
I didn't like Logan either. Newsflash. I didn't like.
Well, fuck you. You're out of the initiative.
I didn't like that movie either. But again, I acknowledge that a lot of people do. I've never said that it was a bad movie or tried to convince people to change their mind.
I totally get why it's divisive, man. I get that some people wouldn't like it, right? Like it's not, doesn't bother me. That doesn't change the fact that when I watched it the first time, I fucking cried. I thought it was fucking beautiful and tragic and fucking brutal. And it connected with me as a father, you know what I mean? So all those things, those are my subjective connection to a thing. You can't fucking change that. I don't know why you would try.
No,
DJ, stop trying.
Yeah, I know, exactly. But my point is, like, looking at the chat, like some of these other comments, like, where's it at? So Tiberius here, if you like it, then fine. But to say someone like Nerdrotic or Drinker say not to engage with it even misses or misrepresents the points of what they not do. The last Drinker video that I just did, listen, this is, God, you guys, the last Drinker video that I did, at the very end of the video, he told his viewers not to waste their time watching The Acolyte. Yeah, he said that at the end of his video.
Because that's what it's really about with these guys, is they're trying to, their whole fucking point is to make people antagonistic of this very popular media, particularly if it's made by Disney, but generally, anything that is, giving any kind of equity in storytelling or storytellers, to people of color, to queer people, to women, anything like that, that becomes the target of their ire, because they recognize that, yes, culture is changing, it's evolving. It always has been, really. But they make this fucking fake culture war up when really all it is just certain pocket of people that are algorithmically fucking influenced by YouTube and other shit to just fucking rail against whatever it is, just rail against it, say it's woke, say it's bad, despite the fact that nobody can fucking define what woke means. And then half the time people don't watch the shit. It's look, I've been doing this for 5 fucking years now, man. I've seen it play out over and over and over again. It's fucking, it's inorganic bullshit.
Don't trust IMDb. Don't trust Rotten Tomatoes. Never use those as sources for quality. Stop doing that. Everyone, right now, listen to me. This is the time where you should listen to me. Don't use those fucking sites. Yeah, they're bad. They're bad for media. Rotten Tomatoes has fucked up movies a lot more than some of these chud channels has.
True. That's very true. True. I do think I have to head out now. But it's been a pleasure, everyone.
Yeah, I've got about 15 minutes left. So
I'm about to get my voice is going out and shit too. So good talking.
I could scream for another hour, but
I'm glad that you've kind of like stopped being, sounding so pretentious like you used to sound when you were a little kid.
I know.
You need to grow up.
You need to grow up.
I'm a teenager now.
You're a Disney shill.
A Disney shill.
Like his Cartman impression or something he's doing.
I don't know. Anyway, see you guys.
Yeah, see you later.
Bye.
So, what is it that we can trust from these guys whenever they do shit like this, right? When they spend all this time shitting all over fucking House of the Dragon, saying it's woke, it's too many, there are too many white people, it hates men, it hates white people, blah blah blah. But then whenever Rings of Power, the more certain of the profit driver comes out, oh well, actually House of the Dragon's awesome. And they never, it'd be one thing if they took back anything they said or addressed their previous comments on the thing. They don't do that. That's really fucking shady to me. Like, you just cannot trust anybody that does that kind of shit.
Yeah. Well, look, a nerd named Mark says retired journalist here. I agree with not using those sites, as Eric said. Yeah, the aggregate sites. They were fun at the beginning. Not so fun anymore.
I mean, it still means the same thing as far as I'm concerned, because like it means people who sell you a false, like a product, you know. So there's a fraudulent thing, which is, I'm not calling these guys frauds necessarily, because that is actually a legal claim that you can make against someone, and I want to be careful of that. But you can sell a fraudulent product. You know, you can fraudulently sell a product, and I don't think these guys necessarily do that. For instance, Eric July, if you buy one of his comic books, you're going to get a fucking shitty comic book, in my opinion, for way too much money. But it's not the comic that really is the issue. It's the pun intended. It's the preliminary, the establishment of a narrative and you know, whole lore about how comics are this and this and this now, and despite the fact that he doesn't read the comics and he can't back up anything he says about the comics, and I've caught him lying about the comics and called him out on it several times. That's the grift part of it, right?
Yeah,
what, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? Nobody here is a Marxist, you fucking moron.
It's like when people come in and they're like, give us your opinion on, like,
you're so fucking down in the goddamn fucking right-wing rabbit hole sauce that you think that you just think everybody who disagrees with you is a fucking Marxist, you idiot. Get out of here. Sorry.
I see comments like that all the time. I just, in my chat, I just ignore it. Well, not my chat, but in my comments on my videos. So, did you want to briefly talk about the Dr. Disrespect stuff? I mean,
yeah, but just on the last thing on this, I will say, no, you're right. It is unprecedented, but to say controversy is not accurate. It's also not something you'd really say for sure, because that's the thing. I'm not going to sit here and say for sure that it's all the quote unquote controversy is manufactured. A big piece of it is, for sure. That's been proven. You can prove that. Right? You can go look at the reviews. You can see the things. You can see the people that went to the wrong damn shows and movies named Acolyte and review bombed that instead. Despite, and you can, the people that review bombed the show before it fucking came out. And there's a lot of them. There's a fucking lot of them. Okay, you can look at the numbers of people that downvoted and you know, low rated Acolyte compared to other fucking Star Wars things, and it's way more. That is not a fucking organic or
it's like overcompensation. It was overcompensation.
No fucking, you have to be a fucking rube to believe that is just a natural fucking that's the fandom speaking its mind. Like, come the fuck on, man. Anyway,
the disparity in scores, a critic score of like, what is it, like 80 something, and a fan score of like 13%. I mean, plus the fact that it was proven that there were people going to other things named the Acolyte and leaving bot comments and downvoting stuff that wasn't even Star Wars. It was just called the Acolyte. So, you know,
that's wow, that's actually really fucking, yeah.
Take another hit of whatever you're.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, take and then come back with some more wisdom, man. That's good shit. All right, moving on.
Yeah. So,
bots, you fucking dipshit. There's fucking bots. There's fucking fake accounts and shit. There's people that haven't watched the goddamn thing. That's not the same thing. Things are different than other things. That's the last fucking stupid comment about this that I'm going to give you for free.
Yes, Tiberius. Look, we're going to agree on something. Some critics are just better using clickbait to push it. Yes, there are a lot of people out there who are actual critics that are using clickbait. Yes, that is true.
Oh, okay. What were we gonna do? Sorry, we're gonna. Dr. Disrespect.
Oh, I was just gonna get your take on all of that, because I didn't know if you've seen anything about it. I know we don't have a lot of time left, but
I know that. I mean, I made a comment that's kind of maybe shitty. I don't know, but I don't. The only thing I know is that he's like a mid-40s guy who with a creepy mustache. He wears sunglasses all the time. He plays video games for little kids, and people are actually surprised that he's fucking texting underage.
Right. And well, I think the funny thing is, ironic thing is how we just had a episode of The Boys where Firecracker admitted to doing something with somebody who was 15, and then immediately was forgiven by everybody in her circle. You know what I mean? That's that conservative circle or whatever. And then here we are, like not even a whole week later, and Dr. Disrespect, who also has a lot of conservative, fans and stuff, comes out and says that he was actually talking with somebody who was underage and admitted to it, and a bunch of them just forgave him and started running defense for him. And people are keeping track this time of the folks that are defending him, because he doesn't need to be defended. He doesn't need to be defended. You can simply just not say anything at all. If you're somebody that was a follower of his content and this comes out, you can go, hey, that's pretty shitty. You shouldn't be an adult. You know better. You shouldn't be having inappropriate conversations with underage people in your chat. That's fucking creepy and weird. Or you can simply shut the fuck up and let karma do its work. You know what I mean? Like, that's
you don't
the
have
option
to have a take on every literal thing that comes up, by the way. I mean, it's, you know, that's probably a bad thing for me to say as a content creator. I probably should make myself have one more often, but like, you know, most of the time I'm just like, I can't possibly know some very relevant factors of this thing. So why would I just go out there like an asshole? And
well, this is one of those takes that I think should have been universally like, no, an adult should not be talking to a kid.
Oh yeah.
And
absolutely.
It's one of those where people like Vera Dark and Melanie Mack and fucking Quartering and a few other people decided that they're just going to back up Dr. Disrespect, and they need more information. They need more information coming from the same people who basically say that if you're a trans person or a gay person that just exist, that you're a threat to kids. But somehow this person who admitted and then covered up that they were talking to someone underage inappropriately and has a history of doing things behind his wife's back, I guess, that this person somehow gets a pass. They get the homie pass on that. And that now there needs to be more. We need to know who the person was and what was said. No, you don't. You don't need to know that. He admitted that he did it. He's taking a break from streaming and social media. And that's it. For me, that's enough. He admitted that he did it.
What could you possibly learn that's going to make you like feel more? I don't know. What do you need? I don't know.
Isn't it kind of creepy to even want to know what was in that conversation? To be honest, unless you're like a police officer or somebody that's prosecuting or something, it's really like he admitted that he did it. I don't want to know what he said to this person. That's fucking gross. I don't want to know
because it's once again it's just like the overplaying their hand with the Acolyte or whatever it is, right? Where it's like they're so like I'm anti woke cancel culture, fucking once again buzzwords, bullshit doesn't mean anything. I'm anti that. And so therefore I can't fucking get on board with it. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know why somebody would do that.
I mean, the reason why it hit so hard for me, and I kind of cooled off today, but I know I messaged you guys earlier and I was saying that like it gets to me because every fucking day in my comments on my videos, I get somebody leaving that fucking fallacy argument. Just leave kids alone, or what about the kids and shit like that. And then you have these straight cisgender white guys who get a fucking pass when they admit to doing it. And it's so frustrating because I'm like, here I am just making content, has nothing to do with any of this shit when it comes to like anything. Like one of the comments I had when I was being accused by Renowned Zero, you should just not touch kids. What the fuck kind of comment is that? Where did that even come from? Where did that even come from? So I get accused by him, and there's people in the comments, and they tell on themselves, and they're like, well, do you agree with Drag Story Hour? What? If I say yes to that, does that mean you're going to believe what he's saying about me? Like, what kind of metric is that? If somebody is an ally or says it's okay for drag queens to do a story time, that means that I'm doing what he's accusing me of doing?
Right.
This is the kind of shit I have to deal with every fucking day. So
DJ,
when this happened, I was just really blown out of proportion.
I'm going to grab some water. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm going to go grab some water. I'm out. And then, whenever, if you want, I do have a pretty full folder, not literal folder, but I have a folder full of, examples of the right doing the grooming.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to look into some of that, but I keep it on hand just so.
Yeah. I mean, we might have to do a whole stream about it. Maybe schedule something. Because I feel like it's a lot. But yeah, go ahead and grab your water. I guess.
I'll be back in just a minute.
Yeah, I mean, like for me, it's like I'm sitting here and I'm having to fight in the fucking comments every single day against completely false and baseless accusations of these insults. Oh, you're a groomer. Oh, what about the kids? Blah, 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 all this bullshit. And I'm like, why do I have to fight against this when someone literally admitted to it and they're getting the homie pass? Like, what the fuck is happening? it's crazy. It is crazy to me. Let's see. Here we go. I had something I was going to pull up on screen. Where was it at? So I saw this one. This was a Melanie Mack here. Let me share this. I think this is interesting. And it says, in light of this Dr. Disrespect stuff, just remember that women are very deliberately, streaming sexual content that Twitch puts even on the front page sometimes, visible to minors. Shut it all down. So, yeah, that's the new goalpost now, is that, we shouldn't be worried about like adult people having inappropriate conversations with underage people. We should just completely skip over that and try to get Twitch to shut down all of their more racy content, which there's an argument to be made for that in general. But I don't think that is in light of, I want to reiterate that, in light of this Dr. Disrespect stuff. How about we just focus on the fact that we should be holding people responsible for saying and doing things they shouldn't be doing? How about that? That's a good start. But sure, let's just go ahead and jump over to a completely almost unrelated situation for Melanie Mack. Let's do that. That seems logical, right? Where's another one here? This one I thought was really interesting. Let's see if he still has it up. See if he still has it up. Might have deleted it. Oh, here we go. This one's real fucking great. This one's great. This is JDA here. Check this out. These are his rules for surviving accountability. This is his rules. Never address the allegations. Okay, interesting. Never apologize. Never write walls of text. Never resign. You're not a politician being vetted for public office. There's literally no reason to do any of these things. So this is his way of, like, if you are out here actually grooming kids, actually doing it, which is what Dr. Disrespect admitted to, which is having a conversation with somebody who is underage privately, trying to set up a meeting with them, actual grooming. JDA says this is what you should do. This is how you survive that. So, no big shock coming from him or any of these people, actually. I'm not going to go through all the takes. But I have to say, as someone who gets fucking battered down with negative comments randomly with no fucking proof of anything, it's a little eye-opening and annoying, actually angering, I'll put it that way. It's very upsetting that they so easily brush aside a large platform streamer who admitted to trying to groom a kid, and they get a pass. But the entire queer community, it's just a field day with us.
Yep.
So
I mean, yeah, and once again, man, I am sorry that you fucking deal with that shit. It's like, I mentioned, I guess, somebody brought it up the other day. Our good friend Beta Bird, he brought it up on Twitter. He said, well, do you not hold the position that that we should destigmatize minor attracted people so that we can, blah, blah. And I was like, it's like, well, I mean, the way you're phrasing it is really fucked up and reductive to the point where it's actually changing my position. But I mean, it's not just my position. That's the thing, is only on the internet, in social media circles where they're like, there's conservatives around, basically, will you find anybody that thinks that saying that we should, people who have not offended, they've not harmed any children, right? We don't want them to, right? Right. So what we do is we fucking treat them with the treatment, right? Instead of fucking, well, what these guys often talk about, which is fucking want to take them out on the street and curb stomp them or whatever. Okay, how about instead of that, we fucking put them on whatever medication or fucking therapy and stuff, and we fucking keep an eye on them so that they don't ever fucking harm a single child. How about that, right? But instead I get called a fucking groomer because that is my position. It's also the position of the fucking,
I remember the stream where you talked about that in detail and how that worked out.
But people, still will fucking be like, oh, you're a fucking groomer, because that's my position on things, because I actually don't want children to be fucking harmed. And so, but I mean, and that's me, as upset as I'm getting right now about that fucking stupid bullshit. I can't imagine what it's like to just be, who is going to get you called that shit for no reason.
I tried to tell Renown Zero, I gave him a chance, and I said, you may want to rethink that, because here's the deal. Say, for example, one of those people who follows Renown doesn't like me, right? They don't like me, but they've not reached that point where they think that I'm doing something criminal. And they happen to, I don't know me. They know where I'm at. They have a general idea of where I am. What if one of them comes out and decides, oh, Renown Zero must know that he's doing something wrong when it comes to children, so I'm going to go out and do exactly what all these people have said I should do to him, instead of letting, mental health policies, whatever it is they might believe that someone would need in that situation. They're just going to believe some bro on the internet, and they want to go out and do some vigilante justice. That puts me in actual harm's way. It's not the same as calling somebody an asshole. It's not the same as calling somebody a shill, which is why he tried to compare it to it. Oh, I can call you a pedo because you call me a shill. What? Those aren't comparable insults. It's not the same thing. So actual harm can come to me, and I gave him the opportunity to back down on it. First, he tried to lie about it and say he didn't say it. He's like, I didn't say that, but I had screenshots of it. And then I dropped it, and he's like, oh, I did say it, and I actually stand by it. Oh, so you lied, but now you're going to double down on it, even though I've already told you that there could be some legal issues with this. Yeah. So having to deal with that was a fucking nightmare. Just the whole situation is so bad. And the video that he was commenting on wasn't even about Dr. Disrespect. It was the video where I talked about Eric July. So he just randomly dropped in and said, oh, you should stop touching kids. Interesting. So I already told him, I told him if I lose a gig and they use his tweet as the reason why, because I do a lot of charity events and stuff. If I lose a gig because they looked at his tweets, we're going to have a problem. We are going to have a problem.
Exactly what Scott says here, by the way. It's like everyone with any fucking sense in their head and a shred of morality, and I believe that's most people, know that harming kids is wrong. Like we just intuitively, it's just a thing that most people, unless you're just kind of born with something fucked up or something gets fucked up in your life or whatever, in your brain, everybody knows it. Everybody agrees it. That's why the most fucking bad faith people resort to that so quickly. Because, they just know. It's like to them that they don't have to engage in any kind of intellectual, they don't have to defend their positions. They don't have to fucking explain anything about why they're fucking hateful pieces of shit or anything like that. Because with that, they just go, oh, you're groomer, pedo, whatever. And it's like that, and that's it. Yeah.
It's an insult. Look, I'm going to be honest with everybody. And this is kind of a plea to rational thought, rational people. Calling someone that should not be a random insult, because there are people that are actually doing it. And when these organizations try to find those people, they get inundated with that being used in exchange for any other insult. Like that should be reserved for people that are actually doing shit, because that's how you find out about it.
Understand this, because they will say the same thing in context of, what was it? I'm sorry, I just had it in mind. Man, it slipped my mind. I had an example in my mind, and then goddamn. All right, I'm tired, getting tired. So
yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to drop that out there. We didn't talk about it earlier, but I didn't want to ruin the vibe, so I thought I'll wait to talk about it. But it's just one of those things where it's very telling, and I want everybody to keep an eye on the people that are supporting what Dr. Disrespect did or trying to deflect from it, because those are not good people. They are not good people. I'm telling you that right now.
Yep. I mean, they're just not. They're not.
But look, Scott, that's not going to happen with me. That's the thing. They know that I'm not going to back down. So it's just going to get even more, probably more polarized. So we'll see.
True. Yeah. So whatever channel you're on, whichever one it is, it is connected very easily to several other channels in the description, which you should subscribe to. We got DJ over 2,000 subs this morning, and I'm sure it's going to keep growing. You won the race that I don't even know if you knew we were having, but I was doing a race to 2K between you and the Shill Clips channel. Because we're both right at that mark. So maybe even the Shill Clips has gotten there by now. Who knows? But probably not, because look, whoever runs that fucking channel does not upload very consistently. Some lazy piece of shit. But you guys should subscribe to all that. And then check out the new video on my channel about the boys. It's me and Turf Nation. Check out whatever video DJ's got coming out, because I'll be honest, man, like you and Pillar of Garbage are kind of just like my go-tos these days. And it makes, it's honestly a really good feeling to have two people that, because for a long time I was the guy. I was basically just, I'm the one, you know? Yeah. And like now I've got a couple of guys that like, look, I can relax a little bit because these guys fucking nail it every single time. And
I just dropped a critical drinker breakdown video that seems to be making a lot of people angry. So that probably means that I'm right. So definitely check that out.
And then I've got
my Acolyte review on my Eric's Reloaded channel. Sorry, so go check that out.
Okay. Coming up pretty soon over the next few days, we'll have a not sure if I put that one up, but we'll have some segments from my stream last Friday where I did a little bit of a deep dive into the Sitch and Adam fellows and just kind of prove that they're right about everything. It's just true. They're just right. They are right. Period. And then also got there's pretty good couple of good political rants involved in that one. And then I'm going to be doing something. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and announce it. I'm sure some of you that have been following me have noticed that I never did release the video I promoted the shit out of it about X-Men 97. Called this is a series that was going to be called the Other Comics Con. Well, it's still going to be called that. It's still going to be a series. It's still going to happen. It's just that for reasons that would spoil the video to get too into, things happened, right? And it basically changed completely the nature of the video, in a way. And I'm going to be doing that and updating everything that happened that caused it all to happen that way. And I feel like a piece of shit whenever I announce stuff and then it doesn't happen that way. I'm going to be doing that on, let's say, let's do it fucking Friday. Fuck it. Yeah, Friday the 28th. This Friday, I'm going to be doing that stream where I'll be doing the content that is part of the stream will be showing you the edited parts of content that I had already ready. And then I'll also have a very special guest to come on and talk with me about the whole thing. And so be here Friday. Yep. I'm committing. Committing. And then other than that, we're going to be doing we're starting on project 2025 on the Fapcast on Sundays. We got to get into that shit. It's going to be taken apart, looking at the inner workings of this proposed fascism, just in case,
Mm-hmm.
That's about it. Subscribe, like. Go to patreon.com/actualfandom. You can follow me for free there. I just uploaded a video up there for free followers there today. I usually do one a week, sometimes more if I have more. But then also you can support the channel and get like more access to stuff, exclusive videos, early videos, things like that. Oh, somebody got banned?
Yeah.
Some of the links in our description don't work. Which ones?
Yeah, let us know. Yeah, there was somebody spamming. They were spamming the chat. I don't know what room they were in, but it was like pretty bad. So I enacted the ban hammer. I'll put up with a lot of stuff, but spamming is not something I care for. So
yeah, fuck a bunch of spam and shit. Hate that shit. Look, I'll be honest. There's a couple of you that showed up today that I'm glad you're still here at the end of the stream, and that we've been able to have a couple of encounters that weren't exactly friendly, but you're still here, and I don't hate you. That's pretty cool. So hope you'll come back. What about you?
Look at that, extending the olive branch there.
Yeah, you got to sell something? You want to sell something, DJ?
Not at the moment. I will say, make sure you check out my videos. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I'm over 2K now, which I'm very excited about. And I've got a live stream this weekend on the Erickson Loaded channel, and I might live stream on Debunks tomorrow night, kind of late. So see me there.
Cool. Bob will be back next week. Hopefully, maybe everybody will be able to make it. We'll all be here, maybe. No promises. Can't handle all that swagger in one stream, some people. So
yeah.
Nonetheless, hit the like, subscribe, take care of yourselves, one another, and your dogs. Have your pets spayed and neutered and all that stuff. Peace. I'm just curious, just completely curious, really, like how deep and in this sauce am I on this one? But I mean, it seems like a lot of people have been following the whole thing with clearly I'm talking about Gary, the ripoff. Thank you. That's it. That's the one. Yes. Because, man, like, if you were paying attention to that, or if you caught up on it afterward or anything, but like with each one of those goddamn songs that dropped, like Drake drops one and it's like, man, that's kind of like, man, it took a bunch of people to write this song. It's fine, like it's got some okay, insults or whatever, but like, man, it's more than one person wrote this. It's kind of bad, kind of sad. And then Kendrick would just drop this song that's just like, what the fuck is he doing? He's a fucking wizard right now. How is he able to say these words and not explode? You know what I mean? Like it was incredible. And Euphoria was where it was really like, holy shit, man. He'd already addressed Drake's family, but then he drops Euphoria. And that one's the one where he like revokes his inward pass. And that seemed like that would be it. But if you listen real closely at the end of Euphoria, he warned him. He's like, if you take it further, I'll take it further too. That's something you don't want to do. The last words in the song. And it was like, and he did. And he took it further. Not like us is the one where he's just straight up like, you and your buddies are a bunch of pedophiles. I mean, PDF files. Don't get me, YouTube. Don't get me. And this actually is kind of unrelated but related. Do you guys think that just that's the end of all beefs and arguments nowadays is just somebody gets called a PDF file? I think that's it, right? Like that's just, if things don't get reconciled, that's where it's going to go. We can just kind of assume that now. Right? I mean, not to say that that's not true. I mean, we know that Drake was texting Millie Bobby Brown when she was 14 years old. It's kind of weird, man.
Hey, just wanted to see how that pause music was coming along. Now keep in mind, this is a movie tie-in video game from the Nintendo 64. Not looking for anything too crazy. What do you think about this?
We can't find any solution to our cultural and political problems through the political system, and that perhaps it's time to look to older systems, strongman, monarchy, even dictator.
The right is doing every single fucking thing they've been accusing the left of doing, which is really, they typically just mean like goddamn Democrats, for years. They're doing it all. They've been doing it all. They've been saying that the left wants to fucking take away democracy. They want to end fucking, America as we know it, in freedoms. I have never seen the third most popular fucking left-wing, even Democrat fucking aligned media outlet having a fucking sit-down conversation about ending democracy, man. Daily Wire is about the third most popular after like Newsmax and Fox News. These guys are essentially mainstream. They're talking about ending fucking democracy, man. To whatever limited, broken, fucking flawed, degree that we have it, right? Like, I'm not sitting here saying we got perfect democracy. We don't. We got some, and some's better than none, I'd say. You should delete your channel, dude.
Amen.
Like, no recourse for this. Like, it's the only honest thing that you could possibly do in response to this. You could apologize. You could delete the video. Sure, that would actually fucking, you can make it private or whatever, or make do a stream or a video where you go over all the ways that you lied about everything in this video, right? You could do that. That would be acceptable. But really, if you want to do the, any kind of like karmic justice back in the fucking world for the damage that you're causing with this kind of shit, you should just delete your fucking channel.
Do us all a favor.
Just delete your channel.